player to sink, sure. What is going on, guys? Happy Wednesday. So today I have Kyle from Adaptive Reef on, and he's going to work with me and figure out some really awesome design for the sump and the stand. So it's going to be for revision 2 of the 6-foot shallow reef, so I'm pretty excited for it. If you guys haven't seen him, check out his work, adaptivereef.com. This guy, he does amazing work, Kyle, so I'm super excited to have you on today, and really appreciate you coming on to brainstorm and come up with some really cool designs.
Yeah, I try to come up with something cool.
No, it sounds good. So today we're just doing a bit of a kind of screen sharing and playing with different ideas, and yeah, it should be pretty cool. So this is kind of in the background was my basic kind of thoughts so far, what I mocked up with. Aside from that, I mean, the tank's more or less what it is. So it's going to be 25 wide, 22 high, 6 foot 1, 6 foot 2 long. The stand was kind of like my basic frame to support the tank, and then just a little end cap. So other than that, it's pretty much free open for any ideas or whatever you're thinking. Anything cool ideas you got?
Yeah, I've already fixed some of your file right here, so I can actually work with it.
Perfect. What do you have to fix?
Just how you use Sketchup. So Sketchup you can actually use to produce off of, surprisingly. It's just your file has to be really clean. And using 3D programs like Rhino and stuff like that, you learn to do that.
Ah, nice.
So anyways, so we have this. So this is your actual tank, this one. What's the difference between this? You're either going coast to coast or center?
Yeah, I'll probably stick with the center. I'll probably make it a little bit wider and leave just enough room to fit an MP40 on either side. But aside from that, it should be what it is.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I was going to do coast to coast, but then I realized I'd have to somehow put my returns through the wall and different things, and kind of just decided to go with that.
Seems like a pain.
Yeah, then it's easier to have a dry spot. I can put my MP40s higher, all that type of stuff.
Yeah. All right. So that looks good. That looks good. This is yours.
Yep.
And these, you're using the L1s?
2 M1s.
M1s? Okay.
Yep. Now, yeah, like the Sump completely redesigned. I was playing different ideas. Same thing. I don't think I'm going to have the Chato now. I might go with the turf scrubber. So it's literally open for...
And you want it viewable from both sides, right?
Yeah, so the big thing right now is I'm viewing the tank from the left-hand side. In a year or so when I actually put it upstairs, I'm going to be viewing it from the right-hand side. So that was my original design, was doing it like that. But I'm like, okay, maybe I don't want it that way so you can actually see it from both sides. But I'm completely open for whatever kind of ideas you got.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Lisa. Hey, Reef Keeper. Welcome, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, files all over. All right, just give me a second. Let me just make it so I can mess with this file.
No problem. Mess away.
I just quickly looked at it, to be 100% honest with you.
Fair enough.
But we shall fix it.
Version design.
Yeah.
Yeah, your SketchUp skills are probably far superior to mine.
Yeah.
I know just enough to mock it up and make the measurements right.
It's quite handy, actually. Before, it must have been a lot harder.
Well, I actually use it for 3D printing, usually when I'm making brackets and stuff. I find SketchUp kind of the quick and easy way to do it, so
yeah,
you can make stuff pretty quick, at least for me.
What 3D printer do you have?
Tivo Tarantula.
Oh, yeah? Do you make a lot of stuff for your aquarium?
Most of it's like brackets and stuff. Like I've had brackets to hold the power supplies, and I've had different ones like my horizontal Chato reactor. I had one on there, like just to hold it sideways on the side of the sump. Just little things, or like to hold like the little Jabo controller, just different things like that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got a 3D printer, and I thought I was going to use it a lot, and I never did.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I have CNCs, right? So that helps.
That's on my future wish list.
Yes, they're very handy.
Yeah, so Ozzy, so will the frame for the tank be a welded box section? Yeah, so my current one is welded 2-inch steel. And I did 2-inch steel just so I don't have to have any center braces. I like this, the whole panel's open, there's nothing in the way. So I did overkill, nice thick steel, and it's been great.
Yeah, I'd assume you're using like 1/8-inch wall.
I don't actually know. I didn't even ask on that one. It's a good question. Who am I talking with? This is Kyle. And Kyle is from Adaptive Reef, and he does some amazing acrylic work. So be sure to check out adaptivereef.com later, and you'll be amazed at how beautiful his tank is.
It does okay. It was just picked up by Aquanerd and Orphic, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I saw it on their website. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So we want to do. Sorry, I'm just looking at a few things.
Yeah, no problem. My random revisions and stuff in there. Clearing up the workspace.
SketchUp sometimes doesn't like things. There you go.
Yeah, when you have too much stuff in there, it tends to be a bit of a pain. Can you talk about the overflow box and the mount it will contain? I don't know what you mean by the mount, but it's just kind of it's an external overflow box, but I put an acrylic kind of sheet around it just to make it look like the glass kind of continued on. It just gives it a bit of a cleaner look. But I generally do the bean animal design, so I have 3 drains, a full siphon and an open siphon, and the third one is an emergency. I always like to overkill things and make them extra safe. Are you building a new stand?
Yes, I'm building a new side of the stand just so I can properly do it.
Okay, fair enough.
Again, I didn't look at this at all. Probably should have.
No problem. It's more fun when it's live.
Yeah, it won't take. Yeah, well, I've never done it live either, so I figured it'd be cool as having before.
Yeah.
Once this is done, it goes a lot quicker.
The water volume. Yeah, I have no idea what the overflow water volume is. Not much, but the tank itself will be approximately 160 gallons, give or take an inch of water depending on the water height.
Everybody ends up going bigger.
Yeah, well, so I was getting a new tank basically for free out of like a warranty thing, and it was kind of at the point where I'm like, well, if I have to go through all this effort to swap stuff from one tank to another, I'm like, you might as well sneak in an upgrade while you're at it. So for the minimal little bit of an upgrade cost, I figured it was worth it.
Yeah, it goes full circle though. Eventually, you get so big that you get sick of having a massive tank, and then you go small again, like me.
Yep. So what size is your tank now?
It's only 200 gallons. I say only, but it's also only, I think, 80 inches long. My last reef tank was 16 feet long.
That was huge.
And yeah, that was. I don't know what I was thinking when I got that.
Because
it's kind of one of those things that I could build it, so like, why not? And then after like a year of it running, it's like, oh, I have a 16-foot reef tank in my basement, and I probably should have thought about this more.
Yeah. That's pretty neat though. But yeah, I can see it's being interesting to have that big of a tank.
Yeah.
I think this will be my last tank for a long time though. I wasn't even planning on this one up until recently, so it just kind of happened.
Yeah, that's usually what everybody says. Oh yeah, for sure. This is the last one, I promise. And then you end up with one more.
Yeah.
And then some people end up with like 10 tanks in their house.
Yeah, I have a 2-tank limit.
Yeah. It's easy to start spreading out, especially with frag tanks and other tanks like that.
Well, with too many tanks, it just becomes a lot of work for the maintenance and everything else. So that's the one thing that I found. So you got to keep it within reason to keep that part peaceful.
I don't need that. Tank.
Is there a rule of thumb for the size of sumps? I wouldn't say there's necessarily a rule. It depends how much equipment you want to put in. I've seen some with a tiny little thing with a skimmer and overflow and just a return pump. And, I've seen other ones massive, tons of chambers, tons of equipment. So it really depends. The biggest thing with a sump is you just want to make sure it can handle whatever volume drains into it from your tank in a power outage. Like, that's the only thing that I would say is like a rule. you know, make sure you have enough head height in there to handle that. Aside from that, it really depends what's going inside of it. How's the pod and phytoplankton jar? So far, so good. Still waiting to see what happens with it. It's probably, I added a little bit of fertilizer just to start it. I'm just going to let it bubble for a bit before I start dosing the tank with it.
No, so you're getting a new stand, correct? Because
Yes.
I guess it's bigger.
Yeah.
And you just copied the same style that you had before for just no reason or for a reason?
No, not particular reason. I'm open for options if you got something.
Yeah, okay.
So basically, the one closest to the middle, that's to support the tank, and the other was just basically to box it in. The bar in the center was going to be open at the top, so I could drop my light bar into it rather than bolting it to it. Yeah, so that was just to give me that extra 1.5 inches, which could be tank and not overflow space. So I was just trying to make it more compact.
No, that's cool. That makes sense. All right, so that will be a thing. And then what do you use on top, like 3/4 inch ply or something?
Yeah, the last tank I had, they had it just built into the tank, so I literally just set it on top of the steel.
Okay.
Yeah, so nothing directly on it, but yeah.
So, but it has a pad on the bottom or something, I assume?
Just a thin piece of wood that was part of the glass.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, so the whole reason for those 2 bars was literally just so there's support right at the edge of the tank.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
May or may not need it, but yeah.
No, you probably do, actually.
I figured it was safer.
You never want to underbuild a stand. There's no need for it.
Exactly. And then my light bar was 1.5 inch extruded aluminum. That's why I was kind of thinking if I had that 1 2-inch bar with just open at the top, then I could just drop it right inside.
Yeah, so the top bar you have is 80/20 aluminum.
Correct.
It's extruded, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, 15/15.
Okay. You have this. Nice.
Mm.
So whenever I build in SketchUp, at least, I try to make it actual, like individual shapes, like so.
Okay.
It makes it just better than this.
Yeah, that's fair. I basically just started with a line and just kept pulling it.
No, that's Norman. That's exactly what pretty much everybody does. But when actually building in it, it's better then because then you can actually get measurements off it.
That's true.
So from this, if you send this to someone who does steel work and whatnot, you can dimension this right out of SketchUp and send it to them, and they'll actually know what is going on.
Okay,
I guess
that's a good call.
And then you also know exactly what you're going to get.
Yeah, very true. Good call.
Okay, cool. That starts that off.
Random question. Have you ever done miter quarters on a glass tank?
Me personally, I've never made a tank like that, but yes, I've seen it done, and I know people who have had it done.
Yep.
It's really nice. It's just hard to do, at least in where you live and where I live in Canada. There isn't many people who do it.
Yeah, I asked him about how much it would be. He hasn't responded yet, but I'm probably going to be scared when I find out. But it looked pretty cool to have that on the end of the peninsula.
Yeah, it's supposedly stronger, too.
Yep, so it's more contact time.
There's a company in Niagara who's going to do it as well, but again, it comes on a boat right from China, so it
pre-done.
Sometimes can take a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there we go. So your idea was a wraparound, so that works. But you want to see this thing from both sides, don't you?
That's why it hasn't went anywhere yet. It doesn't have to wrap around. Literally, it can do it. Yeah. I'm up for anything.
Okay.
That was just me playing different designs.
So really, and what is this? Is this the DD cleaner thingy?
Yeah, that's a Clarity filter roller, and then the other one's the Coral Box Cloud9 skimmer. So those two are in there for sure. And I'm going to do the dual Vector M1 return pumps. Aside from that, it's kind of fair game. I'll probably go with the turf scrubber just to kind of contain everything and keep it a little neater.
Is this actual size?
It should be, or pretty close. They didn't fully give dimensions on the top, just kind of like the top width and the bottom width, so I kind of guessed on it, but it should be close.
Yeah. And then we have what left? 40. Oh, that's not bad. I assume you like the look of like the Vertex iSupra and the higher end sumps, correct?
Oh, I like everything fancy.
Yeah. No, it doesn't look like much, but it turns into something, trust me.
I trust you on it. Yeah, no, literally anything you can come up with, I'm pretty much game for whatever you can think of.
Yeah, okay.
Long as it looks pretty and can handle whatever overflow tank of the water, it's all good. After seeing your gorgeous sand, I was inspired to step mine up for revision 2.
Yeah, that's usually what happens to a lot of people.
Sucker them in with this beautiful tank. You're like,
Yeah.
I know you'll want one.
Yeah. There isn't many tanks out there like mine.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, I'm coming.
Yeah.
So what happened with the 16-foot tank? Did you decide it was just too much after a while, or?
Yeah, kind of. I had a interesting controller switch. We'll just leave it at that at the point of time that all went down. So I was so frustrated that I just started disliking the tank, and it was ridiculously big. I mean, it was cool. I mean, it worked really well. It was stable. Corals were growing. It's just, yeah, it was just too big. It was becoming like more of a job than anything else.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want a saltwater fish store in my house anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I tried to sell it. Then I got a couple offers on just the tank. Like the equipment was easy to sell. It had like 2 apexes on it. It had all the stuff on it. So that was easy to sell. It was the actual tank though that, you know, was harder to sell. I got a few offers on it, but I decided that I didn't really want anybody to have my tank. So I cut it apart with a jigsaw.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. So that was fun.
So do you have pieces of it in other projects?
No, I called You Got Junk and got them to just take it.
Oh, crazy.
Including the steel stand that weighed 1,000 pounds. I was just at that point I was just so sick of the tank. I had a really bad experience again with controller issues. So I was just like, yeah, no, I'm done. So I mean, I was leaving the hobby. To be 100% honest with you, I was just whip it down and take it more. Wasn't leaving it, just probably taking a break from it for a while.
Yeah.
And then I started talking to people in the industry and stuff like that, and they're like, "Hey, let's do something together." And I was like, "Okay, fine. I'll set up another tank, and it will be cool."
Yeah.
And so this time I was smart, and I said, "Look, I want 200 gallons. That's it." And I designed a system for that.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Nice. It's a good size.
Yeah, it's a really nice size. I like 200 gallons.
Yeah,
it's big enough you can get almost anything, and then small enough that it's manageable.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go any bigger in this one. At least not for a long time.
Yeah.
It
matters what you want, right? Water volume's nice. It's nice to have, but I mean, what do you actually want out of the hobby? Just because you have 1,000-gallon tank doesn't make it any more enjoyable. I mean, there's a big difference between having like a 20-gallon BioCube or a 30-gallon BioCube and then a 100-gallon tank. But, you know, from 200-gallon to 400-gallon, there isn't much of a difference. There really isn't.
Yeah. Like honestly on this, like I'm probably going to keep the same aquascape. It's just going to give more sandbed space around it, more room for the corals to grow up and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of live rock. I don't run a lot of live rock. In my 400-gallon, I ran like 100 pounds of live rock.
Good to know. So Marcus is saying you can only submerge the Clara Sea by 8 inches. So remember, though, the headroom you'll need for the first baffle. Good to know. Thanks for that tip, Mark. Now, I know there's also brackets. I could just mount it higher too. I mean, that's the other option for it.
Yeah, we'll get to that. This is just more for sizing.
So right now, I mean, I could probably clean this up. But on the current thing, I have that little kind of L-shape wood around there. And underneath of there, I have 2 different Apex energy bars and... what else I got on there? I got a giant battery, which I don't need, but I have like a massive battery under there and different things, so I can probably clean that up quite a bit. But
yeah, I'll be making you a new one of those. That's just, you can't have that.
Yeah,
it's just not acceptable. So that was what this kind of box is. That just gives me enough room to figure out what we have to mess with.
Okay.
Probably actually be a little bit smaller. So you have your main sump and then your extra room, I guess, for your controller and whatnot. But you also want dosing containers.
Yep, that's what I also got to figure out.
Yeah, okay.
So I debated going back to calcium reactor, but I'll probably stick to just dosing for this tank.
Yeah, okay. I mean, the Vertex one you can submerge. So, I mean, worst case, you can put it in there.
Yeah.
I like simple sumps too, right? I mean,
yeah.
Even the Royal exclusive sumps and stuff like that, even the higher end sumps are super simple. Especially with the Clear Sea like mat rollers and stuff like that. There isn't a need anymore for like 5-step filter sock filtering because no one wants to change those.
That's where I'm at now. I don't change enough as I'm supposed to, so I figured you might as well just
yeah,
make life easier.
Okay. We got a bunch of rooms, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So we'll go. Is this 25? 24. Then color scheme, you're thinking what, like red and white?
Yeah, that's kind of what I have. What I have now.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, red and white or white and blue. Either would look cool. I need new piping if I go blue. I might anyways, though, actually, because I might do bigger return lines, which I don't think I have. Just doing like a little barrier kind of thing.
Well, yeah, this will be the start of the board, and it's ugly to have a big square, so we start by
shaving. Okay.
Yeah, shaving a bit just to give it some shape.
Nice. How high is the display tank? It's gonna be 22 high. I'm going for my current one's 18. I'm going 4 inches higher, so it'll be 22 and then 25 wide, and then 6 foot 1.5, 6 foot 2 minus the overflow.
Let's go. Oh yeah, it's viewable from both sides. I gotta remember that.
Yeah, that was the trickier part I was debating, is since I see one half of it, like right now I only see the one side, right? But then later it'll be both sides, or it depends how you open up the stand.
Yeah.
For me, that was the trickier part, is just trying to decide how to do it to make it look good from both sides and accessible from all over.
Yeah, it's just not a normal thing to have. Well, I guess peninsula tanks are more and more popular now, especially with the Red Seas. Okay, so now we need dosing containers and all that jazz. So first up, let's make the board to put this thing on. Your stuff just sits on the ground, correct? On the stand, you don't have a board, or do you have a board underneath?
I have a board under right now. I just cut all the notches out and plopped one in. Again, I mean, it could be either way, but I really like in yours how you had
Yeah, we're gonna underlight it.
yeah, I think it looks awesome. If it's me, but the volume seems low. Here, okay, I'll turn it up a little bit. There you go. Turn the volume a bit, so it should be better now. Nice.
That's really what we have to work with.
Yeah, you put my SketchUp shields to shame.
Yeah.
So much quicker.
Yeah.
I'd be like an hour in to get to the stage by now. It's been, what, like 15, 20 minutes?
Use it enough, you get good at it. It's actually a really nice program. I really, really like it. It's so much easier to learn than like Blender and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just find it really quick. Like, just
Yeah.
quick for stuff.
Okay, so really, what do we got? We can do that. So this, we'll go in what? Okay.
I'm learning. It's good.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of in my own world.
No, I actually like watching you do it. It's good.
Yeah. Hard because a lot of people that come to me for tanks and stuff like that, because I design full systems and stuff like that. It's like, oh, well, I have this great idea. I can't show you it, but trust me, it's awesome. It's going to be really, really cool when it's done. There's going to be LEDs and things are going to light up, and there's going to be flashy lights, and there's going to be TV. Like I've sunk TVs into tanks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, there's going to be cool stuff, but then it's like, well, can you show me? It's like, well, no, it's kind of just in my head. So
yeah,
always run into that issue.
that's where all the magic happens.
Yeah. Okay, so this could be where your dose containers go.
Okay.
That's good. That looks good. Your controller now is on the left-hand side, right?
It's on the end cap actually, right now.
Oh,
So
it's like right on the end?
yeah, if you remove that panel, I just basically put a flat panel inside against this vertical bars, and then I use that couple inches of space to mount everything.
Yeah. Okay.
That was kind of my solution to make it more universal from both sides.
Yeah, I think that's what most people do anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So I'll probably just make you dosing containers.
That works.
How big are the ones you have now? Like a gallon?
Yeah.
And you dose, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, right now I have just 2 1-gallons. I was thinking about adding more and having 4. Probably for like calcium, alkalinity, mag, and then I don't know what the last one would be at. Like maybe aminos or something, but it's to be determined.
Yeah, like me. I have a bunch of dosers I don't even use yet. I just put SPS in my tank a couple days ago. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so now everything else has to be set up, and I have the GHL KH director on its way, so that should be cool.
Oh, nice. That should be good, eh?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it's always fun. But now I got to build the whole left side of my tank again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's true. A little more work. The one piece of equipment that I was debating trying was that Altronic, which is that alkalinity monitor thing.
Yep.
So, depending on the design, I was half debating trying one of those in there.
Oh, that's fine. You can always make room for stuff.
Yep.
I saw that. I saw it with the guy who made it. He
Mhm.
started a thread on Reef to Reef a while ago, and
Yeah,
then actually you could
Johannes, I
follow.
believe.
Yeah, you could follow the whole process of him making it, which was cool.
Hmm.
18. That's too high. That's 17.
Yeah, I've watched a bunch of different threads and stuff on it, and it seems like it's pretty good.
Yep. I haven't heard anything bad about it yet.
Hmm. Initially, the only, I guess, little bit complaint was one of the pumps were noisy, and they completely fixed it, and they're coming out with even a kit for everyone that had revision 1 of it to like
Yeah.
replace it, make it silent. I'm like, that is pretty awesome. I thought that was
Pretty
pretty
hard
cool.
to. Yeah, it's pretty hard to get out all the bugs when launching a product.
Yep. But yeah, I'm always impressed when companies stand behind it, and like, you know, even everyone that's already bought it, they're like, here you go, here's a free kit to fix this one little issue we had. I thought that was cool. Nice. Perfect fit dosing container.
Yeah, it helps when everything's custom.
Exactly.
3, 4.
Yeah, if you have any other suggestions for different things to run or try or do, let me know.
Yeah, I'm just getting a feel for the tank and whatnot. It takes me a sec.
Yeah.
And I have to fix your SketchUp file.
Yeah, that's fair. No grab.
It's okay. Sometimes I get pictures drawn on like almost a napkin sent to me, but like, hey, can you make this? Like, I guess.
Yep. Slightly nicer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's an easy way to visualize it and just kind of get a good idea for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's better than a piece of paper.
Yes, definitely better than a piece of paper. The other thing too, just trying to figure out sizing for stuff, then it's easy to, when you actually do it in 3D model and you're like, oh, this is exactly this big, I can fit this here. And
yeah.
Yep. YouTube.
From there. SketchUp has a whole library of random stuff, which is handy.
Yeah.
It's actually a pain. I have SketchUp Pro,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have it at home, so it's sometimes a pain to get stuff. Like, look at this. Why? Oh, it's curved. Of course it is. That's okay.
Is there a big difference in the Pro and the normal one?
Just for importing. You can import DXFs, stuff like that. It's handy to get like people's logos in it without going nuts trying to get it in. They kind of block it off. There's a bunch of plugins, but the plugins sometimes are extremely taxing and heavy, especially when you start getting into more and more detailed. But I mean, I was able to like get that off like the free dump of everybody. So someone modeled all this.
Yeah.
But it looks nice, but it's way too complicated for what you actually need.
Yeah.
And it ends up slowing down everything.
Yeah, I believe it. I usually do. It's like, for instance, the skimmer, I just picked a random one and just resized it to be approximately the same size.
Yeah.
Just to speed it up.
Alright, so this guy, I want to get. I want to get rid of this tube stuff.
So what are you making right now?
This is, sorry, I'm just thinking. This is going to be a push-through box with just the play symbol on it.
Okay.
And then we'll sink that into the end of your dosing container, so that looks all nice.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Because for a YouTuber.
I like it.
Yeah. And then we can keep the YouTube theme. I try to stay away from, well, I want to stay away from on this. I'm thinking like the red in your face.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm gonna do another logo, but we'll do it in pretty much just white.
Nice.
Because you like the underlighting of my system, so
Yep.
we'll do kind of the same
Okay. That's
looky
awesome.
stuff, but in either your logo or...
I had one I mocked up a while ago, which was like an outline of the play button, and then just in white, and then it was like just ReefDudes after it, which looked kind of cool, but I'll dig that up later.
If you have your logo in SketchUp, that'd be handy.
I can see what I can do.
That'd be handy.
Here, I'll see if I can make one on the other screen.
Yeah, okay. So this hollow box is what hides all the LEDs, right?
Yeah. I guess the only question is, will you see it there with the filter roller there?
No, but it
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Fair enough. The subtle things.
You will see it.
Yes,
and you will know it's there. And plus, I'm gonna flip it around.
Okay.
You'll see.
All right.
And yes, this is a very subtle thing. All this work will be done just so you can see it when you're cleaning your tank.
And I'll
There's
smile
nothing to do
every
with
time.
showing off. Exactly. That's how you design things properly.
Nice. Awesome. Love it. Love the attention to detail.
Yeah, it's the small things that really matter.
Mm-hmm. No, this is very true. Awesome point. So having a CNC machine must be amazing to make so many things.
Yep. Having more than one helps too.
That certainly would. One day I'll find a way to get one.
Yeah. They're handy. They're more handy than a 3D printer right now. I think that's why the 3D printing space hasn't taken off as much as they thought it would. Because most of the things I can 3D print, I can CNC in half the time,
Yeah.
or God, in 1/8 of the time.
Yeah, that is one of the biggest things. 3D printing isn't by no means a quick process.
No, not at all.
It's like start it, go to bed, it's ready in the morning.
Yeah. They're getting cheap though, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy a decent 3D printer now for a couple $100.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
All right, so now you.
Okay, I'm sketching up myself a quick logo on the other one.
What do you do for auto top off?
That's a good question. Currently, I have a 15-gallon jug hiding behind a chair in the corner that runs a line to my tank.
Yeah, okay.
I probably should figure out a cleaner solution for it. So, I thought about trying to put one to the stand, but I don't know. We'll see. It kind of takes up a lot of space, though.
Yeah, it takes up a crap ton. Okay, so we have this. All right, so yeah, maybe we'll do it reverse.
Do you have yours built within the stand, or is it remotely somewhere else?
It's remote, but I have the tunes, the RO ones coming because I'm gonna start running. I have my 200-gallon, but I also have that Elio 70 that I'm building right now.
Yep.
That I haven't posted anything about, but I will.
Mm-hmm.
That's also going to be ran, so I don't want a bunch of auto top-off tanks. Right now I run a 25-gallon tank, but it's all covered and stuff. It's like built into a desk sort of thing.
Okay. So it's built into something nearby?
Yeah, but I don't like it. I'm too lazy to run the RO tubes,
Fair enough.
so I built a desk instead.
Yeah. So is that more or less work building a desk?
Yeah. But now, yeah, I'm gonna run RO tubes through my walls and stuff like that, and just go direct.
Mm-hmm.
And if it floods, it floods. I'm sick of dealing with auto top off.
Yeah. Just put in like a secondary like optical sensor that shuts off a solenoid or something like that. Let's have something to make it extra level redundancy.
Yeah, that actually probably is a really good idea. Oh, that's a point.
Yeah, as long as you have a backup, right? That for me, that'd be the big thing, just to.
Yeah. Okay, so now we can go here. Where's my
For a logo, do you just want just the text?
No, if you can put everything in, that'd be awesome. Or
Okay.
whatever you want. I mean, it's whatever you want. It's
Mm-hmm.
your system. Again, it's a bunch of random stuff right now, but it comes together eventually. Yeah. So I want to sync these in here. That'd be cool.
That'll look good. The font that I just used, what the heck was it called? Tools, 3 text. I don't know if it's a standard font. TW Century MT. I don't know if you have that one or not. I can't remember if I downloaded extra or not.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, try that one. That's pretty much the font I use. They're pretty darn close to it.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. Sweet. So nice. 3D printers are great for awkward stuff. Yes, it does help, especially if I have a 3D scanner. I thought about building one. I haven't done that yet. Laser etchers. I bought a, what is it, 2.5 watt laser? I bought a couple watt laser that I made an attachment. So I put it on my 3D printer. I haven't played a ton with it yet, but a little bit. I think it'll be kind of fun. There's some potential there. But yeah, it can't, like I was going to try and cut acrylic with it. It's going to be questionable if I has enough power for that. It'd probably take a ton of passes and not be very good. But I tried just like cutting cardboard and some random stuff for fun, but you need a pretty powerful laser to do the good stuff. Yes.
So I think these are going to be 1/4" acrylic letters.
Sounds good.
By the way.
That'll look cool.
Yeah. And then we'll start doing some LED stuff soon. Again, it will all make sense soon. It's just, I know.
I trust you.
Hotness.
I like everything you do. It all looks awesome.
Yeah, okay, that'll look cool.
Nice.
Yeah, okay. So then this piece is the
what's Ricky saying? Sup dev? Final baffle would be better going over, under, not under, over. That way the bubbles don't flow. I actually don't even use bubbles or baffles at all for what the bubbling I'm doing now. I just have a little power head that pushes them around.
I think he's talking about the final. There's only 2 baffles here.
Yeah.
There probably should be 3, if anything.
Depends what you're doing. I don't know. I don't even find you need that many baffles anymore, to be honest.
No, my sump has 3.
Yeah. Like, I have double baffles, but they don't really serve any big purpose.
Matters with skimming, I guess you have 2 and a bunch of other things too.
One of the things that some of them are doing is doing like the micro bubble scrubbing, where you're basically injecting miniature bubbles into your tank to turn your tank into a big protein skimmer, essentially. And a lot of people put it under the last baffle, so I think that's where that's come from. What program is this? This is Google Sketchup.
Very handy program.
Yeah, very, very good. Very handy. I use it for mocking up like everything in 3D printing. I use it for quick models of like little brackets and stuff. And now you're watching the master at work right now, creating some awesome stuff. You are the master, Kyle.
Well, it's fun being able to design and build. It makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Just because in my head I'm thinking about what it's going to look like, but also how I'm going to actually physically make it.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in designing something that can't be made, which happens a lot to a lot of people. I get drawings of things like, yeah, well, that's not going to work.
That's impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sadly, I guess it does probably happen. Can you export Google Sketchup to 3D printer? There's third-party plugins you can get that will export your Sketchup file to an STL file, then you can load that to whatever 3D printing software you want. Committed to the roller mount. Yeah, I think I want to do the roller mount. Tired of socks. I could go without any filter, but I like my water to be crystal clear and the fish floating in the air, so I think I'm going to do the roller. I question a little bit if the water will become too clean, but I guess we'll find out.
I want to run them.
Yeah,
I would run them. Yeah,
I think so.
I'm thinking about customizing my sump to put one in.
Nice.
Because, again, I'm sick of filter socks.
Yep.
And I'm sick of ordering them.
I wash mine or use them, but still just lots of time.
Yeah.
One big thing that I've been talking about a bit lately is because I'm putting this at the top of the stairwell, it's going to be a pain to clean the other side of the glass, and I really think one of these roller filters is going to go a long way in keeping the nutrients super low, because you're moving all those particles and stuff that'll break down organics from the water ahead of time, so there's going to be less stuff to cause algae and make your glass hazy and that type of stuff.
Yeah, that would actually work quite well.
So that's my theory, at least.
Yeah. You could always get one of those cleaning robots, too.
Yeah. I wonder, have you ever used one? Do they work well?
No, I have no clue.
Fair enough.
I was hoping you'd get one and then tell me.
We'll see if I can find one. I would always fear with them scratching my glass, though.
Yeah, well, that's the issue.
Like,
especially with Starfire.
Yeah. Although my tank has been 0 scratches, but I don't even use the scrubby pad. I only used a razor blade on it. That's the only thing I use to clean it. Because then there's 2 little bumps at the back of it, and then the razor blade. It's very hard for anything to ever get caught in between it. That's my theory.
I used to have my 16-footer was acrylic, so it gets scratched all the time. But the beauty of that is that you just sand them out.
Is it very easy to buff it out?
Yeah, yeah. With the right equipment, or I would say the right sandpaper, you're good to go. Takes almost no time.
Nice.
That was one of the requirements of this new tank that I have. My 200 gallons, it had to be glass because I like acrylic. It's a lot lighter too. Like I was able to carry my tank in no problem with like 4 guys. It's a 16-footer, and then my 200 gallon literally almost killed us moving it. It's 3/4-inch glass. It's insane what the weight difference is.
I believe it. I think we had a couple of us moving my tank now, and I was talking to the guy that's building the tank, and this one's
Yeah.
15 mil. And he's like, oh, I'm only stocking 19 mil right now. So he's like, I guess you're lucky. Your tank's gonna be a freaking tank. I'm like, whew.
Yeah, it's heavy stuff.
Yep, it's gonna be a beast to move, but oh well. At least it's pretty much indestructible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm.
All right,
So from here, could you take these parts? Like, could you load a SketchUp template into CNC software?
give or take. That's why
Yeah.
I'm spending the time to actually set it up, because the second I design this, and you say or whatever, he's like, hey, this is cool, then I can actually just cut it.
Nice. That's cool.
And if you don't like it, then we can cut it again and go from there.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it helps. That's why I like having clean models and stuff like that. There'll be different changes, like on this top cap per se. I'm probably gonna cut it out of 3/8 opaque white, but like these corners, I'll use an 1/8 inch cutter. So these corners in the top, you know, see how they're like perfectly square? They'll actually be a round over.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna 3D model that. That's
Yeah.
just a waste of time.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I can definitely take these and cut it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so that's all good.
I thought about trying to build a CNC machine just for fun, because it's basically like a 3D printer with a router bit attached to it.
Yeah, it is pretty much a 3D printer, almost exactly.
It may happen for fun one day as like a little side project.
That one you linked to me was cool.
And it wasn't bad for price wise.
No, I've actually looked at those before. That was a Kickstarter. I want these. I don't want them. Drawing stuff and deleting it.
Yeah. Magic eraser is your best friend on acrylic and even glass. I actually have used that on glass. I've never had an acrylic tank, so, but it does work. I used to have a bent glass tank, and it worked really well for cleaning the corners.
Yeah, we'll do these flush.
So Rookie Reeker, is your tank acrylic? I think you have a couple tanks down there. Nice.
Drawing a bunch of squares.
Good times.
You can actually animate too out of SketchUp.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yep.
That's cool. Can you do that in the free version or just the pro one?
No, it's a plugin, so
Oh.
I think you can do it with almost anything.
Very cool. Let's laugh in the comments. They're like, credit card is a good scraper for acrylic, and someone else like, oh, I use my rewards card.
Okay, so I get the lids done. Yeah, it's like 20 minutes of me drawing a bunch of squares. Sorry.
No worries.
It's just how it is. All right, so
Looking pretty cool.
yeah, I'll get there. It takes a little bit. Okay, so we know that we need at least, I think you said 8 inches for this guy.
Even like the little details, like you just put red underneath. I probably wouldn't have considered that, but I think that will look pretty cool.
Yeah, it just makes it better than a big sheet of black or something, right?
Exactly.
And if you want to have a color scheme all the way through, then it's actually worth it. And then I assume that we'll do like panels and stuff for you on the side.
Perfect.
So it all has to like tie in so you see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because your tank's worth 34 inches, so you have a decent height, especially with a 2-inch bar.
Mm-hmm.
So your opening is actually quite nice. It's 30 inches almost.
Mm-hmm. That big opening is so nice to have.
Mm. And then you'll be using what skimmer again? Sorry.
Coralbox Cloud 9. That's my current one. So,
Okay.
and it's overkill for my tank, so should be good to go for this.
Yeah.
And it's red and white, so
then
that's honestly what started my whole color scheme. I was like, oh, the skimmer's red and white. Let's just stick with it.
Yeah, I'll send you a new sticker too, so it's not blue. I'll make their logo in a red sticker, so there's
Oh,
a red
I'll even
sticker
just
on
peel it off and I'll have a sticker.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that just bugged the hell out of me.
It's nice. Even like my dosing lines, like I used just like red RODI line just to make everything match.
Yeah.
Or a clear acrylic tube, one of the two.
Okay, so let's get...
All the little details.
yeah, they add up.
Mm-hmm.
If you just keep doing little details over and over again, it ends up adding up to something really nice.
Exactly.
I think gone are the days of just jamming everything underneath your stand, or hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's sweet. Really, but even if you look at my tank, my one side of my tank is the electronic side.
Yep.
And it's clean, but it's still kind of pretty much a rat's nest in there. I mean, you can't help it. The amount of wires are just insane.
Oh yeah, like if you looked underneath where all my stuff is, I'm sure it's a disaster.
Yeah. For some reason, this hobby you get a million wires. I don't know why, you just do.
And I even try and consolidate them. Like I have for my 4 radions, I have one wire that splits into 4, so they're all powered off one outlet. And
yeah,
I'm just trying to reduce stuff. And like both MP40s, same thing. It's like a PC wire that splits into 2 and all those little things.
It's funny, every time I set up a tank too, I end up putting tons of stuff on it, tons. And then as time goes on, I just keep taking stuff off of it and end up with like a skimmer, a reactor, and like one controlled power bar, and that's it.
Yeah. The only thing I think I might add is the turf scrub. Other than that, I think it's going to be the skimmer, filter roller, a couple return pumps. Reactors, I don't know. If I do, it's just going to be the small little ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I just run carbon in all my systems. I rarely wear it on anything else.
I have this right now, the tiny, super tiny somatic ones, because I just like,
yeah,
you don't need much. And then
no.
I run literally probably change it like once every 6 weeks, just a small amount of carbon and GFO, just as a little buffer, I guess. I don't really even know why.
GFO is very handy though when you have an algae issue.
I've lucked out, not really had any big issues in this tank. Like it's been pretty good overall.
I always have something wrong. Doesn't matter what I do. There's always something I hate or something that's wrong. I get flatworms a lot, but now I actually quarantine and dip and stuff like that a lot. So that's now under control. But then something else comes up, or something else randomly dies for no reason. I had one of my 2 blood shrimp die on me like yesterday. No reason. Tank's fine. Everything looks healthy. Everything tests out fine, but it's dead. That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's no fun. One thing that could happen, like I see you're putting that little kind of like header board on the top.
Yeah.
It could technically mount stuff upside down and hide a lot of controllers and stuff on the top.
Yeah, most of the Apex gear, you have, what modules do you have for the? Yeah, you're running an Apex.
Yeah. I have 2 power bars, and I have the dose. I have an auto feeder. That doesn't really count. What do I have? I have the auto top off, so the ATK. Is that the only thing in there? I gotta go look quickly. I've had a bunch of other stuff, but I skimmed it down a bit. Give me 1 sec. I gotta go look.
Okay, that's usually what happens.
Alright, so currently, yeah, it's just I got the Apex 2016 head unit, so that's the bigger one. I got the little FMM module for the auto top off. Yeah, that's it for visible Apex stuff.
Okay.
And then Ecotech, I got the 2 MP40s and return pump, so the new one will have 4 controllers with the second return pump. A reactor pump controller, which I may or may not use. Then a CP40, so like a little gyro controller. That's pretty much it for there.
Just making sure you have enough room for your skimmer.
Do they need to be side by side for return pumps? Good question. I don't know. We'll see how it plans out. But I do like the whole redundancy thing. I kind of like the fact that something fails, tank doesn't miss a beat, doesn't really matter. Run them back and forth, pulling from different sides of the sump. Now, one thing that it would also kind of be good, because at least in the past, not that I use the auto feeder very much, but if I go out of town, I'd turn the auto feed on, and it drops it into the sump, into the return pump, and it gets sucked in by in there. That's one thing I liked, is if you did have the return pumps face to face, I mean, it'd be some crazy suction and something would grab it. So is that just like a little board to hider stuff up there? Or?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I just have to make sure. I can, another thing with designing like the tanks or designing this stuff, I can make it look really nice, but in the end, you have to run it as a reef tank.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I put everything so you can't get at it, it's kind of useless. It'll look nice,
yeah,
but you'll absolutely hate the tank beyond belief, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it helps that I actually run a reef tank to know. 'Cause I make that mistake sometimes, even on my own systems. Be like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I can't really reach that. That's horrible.
Well, on the flip side, if it's a steel stand, it could always make it magnetic too, so the panel just pops off.
Yep. Yeah, that actually is very handy.
Like half the stuff I have on here right now is like magnetic. Like even like right now, like the dosers and like all my wires, I have little magnets holding the wires up. Like the doser, I have it on a magnet bar, so many magnets. But it comes in handy. Building a tank is probably one of the most fun parts, though. Love the build.
Yeah, that's what I think everybody likes doing. I think that's why people upgrade so much.
They miss it. They got to rebuild it all over again.
Yeah. Well, half of the fun is like grabbing all the equipment and figuring out. I mean, that's a big chunk of the hobby, right?
Yeah, very true.
It's almost like any hobby. It's like building those like model train sets and stuff. Most of the hobby is you building the train set and getting it all ready and stuff. The second it's built, it's kind of like, oh, well,
now what?
Yeah, exactly.
Hurry up and watch the corals grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you thinking with the boxes? Fill me in. What are you thinking? What's going through your mind?
Sorry. I'm usually not doing this live.
That's fair.
You gotta plumb the tank, so you put your plumbing through the actual into these boxes and through. And what I assume, or what I think I'm gonna do, is you throw LEDs in this, and you put a lens on it, and it ends up being a very soft light.
Okay.
So you'll be able to like turn it on, and it's gonna light underneath your stand, but not light it to the point of it like being super bright.
Yep.
It's just like an accent light. And it's a good place to hide a bunch of wires and stuff like that, right? You always need space, so there will be a cross member. Cross it, just so you have somewhere to put stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the tank needs to look good with and without the side doors on both sides.
Yeah.
So usually what people do, especially with one side open, is you jam everything behind something.
Yep.
Even I with this tank, you want everything exposed. That means the wires all have to go somewhere.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's kind of the idea. We need something. You could go underneath the stand, but the issue with that is that if water leaks or anything like that, then all your stuff's on the ground.
Yeah, and if I ever have to change anything, it'd be a nightmare to get to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like right now, I just have literally like a strip of LEDs down the center of the tank and the top that turns on when you open it. But
yeah, well, it's good so you can see inside of the tank.
I just have a little reed switch on the panel. When you pop it off, it lights up.
Yeah. Oh, that's easy to do with the breakout box and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, super easy.
I was actually just wiring a breakout box earlier today.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
You can do a lot with the little thing. Comes in handy.
Yeah. So like this, what I want to do is join the two boxes, but I want it to be acrylic, so I want it to be like a shiny outside, but you have to be able to mount to it, so it's going to be backed up with a white PVC.
Okay.
So it just gives it a different look, and we'll do the same for this panel as well on the boxes. Just gives it a nicer look.
Mm-hmm.
And then to be honest with you, we can move those up there, yeah. Let's see if this looks okay. Yeah, this is either really interesting to people or really boring. One or the other.
I think it's super interesting. We have like 50-something people watching it, so they must think it's interesting too.
Okay.
A couple of people said they're geeking out right now, so.
Yeah, I've never live streamed me designing something ever, right? Especially from scratch, because I literally never looked at this. So.
Nice. That's kind of fun though. I find it interesting to just see what you come up with too. I find it really cool.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
I never know exactly what I'm gonna make either.
That's kind of half the fun though. Just organically grows as you go.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so these
cool.
we'll make subtle. Another thing you can do, like, you know, you like logos, you don't want to like logo the whole thing out, but what I find cool is that you can make like in your face logos. So you do like this red one up here, and we'll backlight that, so that will actually glow red when whatever. But then I still want to keep logos other places, but we'll make those subtle. So what I like doing is this bottom piece will be like gloss acrylic.
Yep.
And this logo will just be matte. So you'll be able to see it, sort of. Yeah, it's very subtle detail, right?
That's cool.
But then it makes it like a actual like a themed tank at least, or.
No, I like it. That's a really cool idea.
So that should look really nice.
Yeah, oh, cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Thursday, 8 a.m. You're on the other side of the world there, Dr. Magic. Dr. Welsh.
It's crazy how the internet brings everybody together.
It's really cool, though. I mean, you get people from, like, almost literally, like, all the major countries on, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
One big reefing family. I'm all over the globe.
Yeah, I was watching your live stream last week when Terrence was on and stuff like that. I just caught the last, like, half an hour. I mean, that's when actually I contacted you at the beginning.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you did. This is going to be pretty cool.
How long have you been doing the live streams for?
Good question. I really started doing the saltwater YouTube stuff about a year ago. As for how long I've actually been doing the streams, I don't even remember. I'm going to go look now because I'm curious. I'm going to randomly guess 6 months or so, but maybe not that long. Let's see. kind of blurs together after a while once you've been doing it for a bit.
Yeah, I bet.
So I got a playlist for live streams. What's the oldest one in it? So I have 30. This is probably missing some, but I got 31 live streams in there, and I do it every week-ish. Yeah, it's a couple months. 7, 8 months.
Okay, so you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah. When you're breathing in the microphone, I was laughing. She was like, "A storm's coming."
Oh, sorry.
I don't know why that one made me laugh. Yep. It's your birthday, so off to go fly drones and play with new toys. Sounds like fun. Happy birthday, Rookie Reefer. Yeah, the more equipment and stuff you can hide, the better. Part of the pain's having so many power bars and bricks and stuff.
Yeah.
I sometimes debate if it's worth just getting like one big kind of power supply to do a bunch of stuff rather than all these single bricks, but it's probably, I don't know if it's worth the hassle.
Well, it'd be hard for them to make that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think most of Apex stuff now is on 24 volt.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be a huge
transformer or something in there.
Yeah. And they always have to deal with costs too, right? No one's gonna pay $1,000 for a power brick.
Very true. I think that's actually one of the biggest hurdles, because I actually did talk to a couple companies in the past about something like that, like a multi-unit one, and yeah, just the cost would be way up there.
Yeah, it drives a lot actually of what companies do, because any product you develop, you're gonna need to sell.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly.
Okay, so that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. What are we building here? We are designing revision 2 of the Shallow Reef Tank, and this is going to be trying to figure out what all we should do with the stand to make her nice and pretty down there.
Yeah, I'm trying to jazz it up. Well, it was a sump. We're not to the sump yet. Sorry.
Yeah.
It takes a sec.
I have the glass dimensions down, and we're designing the rest of it.
And this is all just to hide Apex wires.
Yep. All those wires always getting in the way, eh?
Yeah. Well, they tried to fix it with the one link. Did okay.
Yeah, that helps. Still lots of stuff though.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is just how many power bricks you end up with for every piece of equipment. There's another big brick you got to deal with.
Yep. We'll make this what, like 4 inches. 4 inches.
You're so quick at it. You know the shortcut keys, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Get used to it after a while.
Those make a big difference.
Yeah. I want to leave that nice and open.
Nice.
Alright, so what we're going to do actually is we'll lose that and we'll make these push through.
The one thing that always buggers me on Sketchup is just when you're moving something, getting on the correct axis and not tearing off a bit.
Yeah, it's It's interesting. After you 3D model for a while, you get it to just do things. Also, if you're on an axis and you hold shift,
Yeah.
it will lock to that axis.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Okay, so that's cool. I like that. So now you have the new Apex with the 832, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I have one new power bar and one old power bar for currently.
Do you want them visible or do you want them hidden?
I could go either way. It's just a bunch of plugs, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, usually I hide them.
Yeah, I'm completely happy hiding anything that we can hide a spot for, because this makes it look nice and clean.
Yeah, so all the 832 and stuff. So.
Yeah, even most of the controllers, I mean, you control it all through an app or wirelessly, so you don't really need to see anything.
Yeah, we'll flush mount though the in the end of the stand. What we'll do, tan it so like this. We'll flush mount the controller so the Apex symbol is visible.
Okay.
So you know how the new Apex, it's like 3 inches thick and whatnot. What we'll do is we'll just we'll just push through the, it's like 4 inches thick. We'll just push through the face of it so you can see the
Just see the logo?
yeah, you can see the LEDs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you at a glance see what the heck's going on with it.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
And so we'll put a dead center in the bottom of the stand, and then we can flush mount the all your expansion boxes the same. Are they the gray ones or are they the black ones?
No, it's only the one gray one actually right now. I got rid of a bunch of the rest.
Oh, so you have no other expansion boxes?
I have, so I'll have the FMM, so that's just for the auto top off.
Yeah.
And then I will have 4 different Ecotech controllers.
Okay.
So the 2 MP40s, the 2 return pumps.
Yeah.
Then I also have a gyri one, which I don't care if that's visible or not. Just the little CP Jabo one.
Yeah, we'll be hiding that one.
Yeah.
The Ecotech ones we can we'll do stuff with though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll put the Apex right dead center there. Right in the back of it.
Sounds good.
And now you have, sorry, how many Ecotech pump things do you have?
There'll be 4.
4? Okay. So we're gonna run our plumbing up through, yeah. So, okay.
So Doc Dre's Salty Aquatics. I've been looking for a good design program. Is this Google SketchUp? Yes, it is. What would you recommend for stuff like logos? If you're doing it in 3D, I mean, SketchUp's pretty good. If it's just 2D stuff, I use Photoshop or Illustrator for the rest of it. So it depends what you're trying to do there. Dre's Salty Aquatics. My wife does a lot of graphic design and stuff, and she's a big Illustrator fan. I'm big on Photoshop because I do mainly graphic stuff. But it all depends what you're after, what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I'm big on Photoshop. Photoshop and Illustrator myself.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where we'll do the things. Be Ecotechs.
Yeah, Reef Spy, the one big thing that I like about steel stands is if you go, like 2-inch steel, you don't have to have any center braces and the whole inside your stand is open. It's so nice not having to have a support bar. Huge benefit, at least for me. I always see people in there trying to get around them. They're always annoying trying to get stuff in and out. This way it's super easy.
Yeah, that's exactly why I have steel stands as well.
Yep.
The more room, the better.
Exactly.
Even if it's empty.
Exactly. Nice.
Okay, so this will be under an overlit box.
Sounds good.
You can mount your Ecotechs to it.
Okay, nice.
And that can go at the end of the sump. So
That's the other question. Be a good way to get the wires up there.
We are going to put some conduit up the sides of the steel poles on the inside of this. They're just going to be red and not white.
Okay.
We would do the same on, or I think the same so far on the other side.
Sounds good.
And then we can just drill some holes.
That works. I was just thinking in my head too, like whether or not it would be structurally weaken the steel, making a hole in it to run the wires through.
Oh no, you don't. We're gonna add a
little conduit.
Yeah, a conduit.
Okay.
You can drill. I mean, it really wouldn't affect it that much, to be honest with you. Especially if it's 1/8" steel wall.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much what this actually will look like. It's this. Do you have your stand already made, or are you getting it made?
Nope, nothing's made yet.
Okay.
So it's still fair game if we want to tweak or modify or do any other type of stuff.
Yeah, but do you have someone to make your steel stand?
Last time, Concept, and they have someone that they use for their stands.
Okay.
So they made it last time and powder coated and all that jazz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I might end up just making your steel stand as well, because it might be easier for me to ship you like a
all together
traded stand.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
We'll see exactly how it all goes, but it might be just easier for me to do that.
Okay. Yeah, no, completely open for options, so.
Yeah. It's because it's hard to do custom work like this. Like, put it this way, so you get a custom steel stand made.
And if they're off a bit.
Yeah, like I'm going to have a 3/4 inch bottom, an 1/8" piece on top, or a 1/4 inch piece on top, and then all this conduit. And I'm going to have to drill holes. If you're out, 1/4 inch, things start going awry quickly.
Yeah.
So now we'll actually float this.
Richard's in the chat saying hi from Aficionado from Reefs.
Oh, yes. Hi, Richard.
Yep.
Yeah, I made him a Apex board. It was cool.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Yeah, I'll be working on it. He's doing a new tank as well. Hopefully I get to work on that as well.
Oh, very nice. Richard, hold on me. What's the new tank? No, very cool. One of the local fish stores by me, it was kind of cool. He ran a conduit. He has a saltwater bin and all ETO, all that stuff in the basement below. And he ran a conduit up with like a little PVC thing up to his sump area. He literally flicks a switch. It pumps in salt water. He has a drain into the floor to get it out. Another for ATO. So he literally walks up, turns the valve, and just fills it up for him. I'm like, oh, that's so handy.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
I was debating using one of the doses for like a long term, like an automatic water change or something. So every once in a while, kick it on and let it do its thing.
Yeah, that'd be handy. But then you got to replace the heads every once in a while.
Yeah.
I forget what they say what the burnout cycle is, but they do burn out.
Yeah.
They're accurate, though.
It's true. I mean, for a water change, you could probably just use 2 regular pumps and some optical level switches or something.
Yeah, I'd probably use decent pumps.
Yeah. Reef Spy. I'm working on controlling an LED light from the Pi. I do one little random project I made just to throw it out there. I used Arduino, like a nano board, but I made like a little parking center with the ultrasonic sensors. So as you went closer, it started like coloring the ring with different colors and then flash red if you're too close. Kind of a fun one I did just for fun. But any experience with Hydra 52s? I've not used those ones.
AI is a pretty good light company, though.
I do have that AI Hydra on my nano tank, and that's been doing really well. A lot of people do like the 52s from what I've read online. Yeah, the hardest part's always just hiding all the wires and everything to make it look extra clean.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out. Do that, and then we could do.
Yeah, if the price is right on him, Ricky, if the few people I know who have had him really liked him, so you're probably safe there.
Yeah, I like my Orphic V4s. They're awesome.
Nice.
I have two Orphic compacts coming as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, those should be nice.
Oh, very nice.
Was it for my Elio 70?
For the new build?
Yeah.
Is that for your house, or was that one going?
No, that's for a house. I'm buying a red reef octopus, like an actual like octopus.
Oh, that'd be
and
cool.
Doing hopefully an SPS tank with it.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Now, how are octopuses very hard to keep, or like are you literally feed it fish, or like what do you actually have to do to care for one?
I'd be feeding it live food.
Mm.
They escape a lot, but I can manufacture a lid that
Nice
they won't
tight.
get out.
Yeah.
That's nice and easy for me. And then past that, no, I mean, they live for probably about a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. I mean, pretty simple animal.
Mm-hmm.
They get bored easily, so you got to do some more things, you know.
To entertain them, keep them occupied.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, from what I can tell, they're pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're super expensive and stuff, but a lot of people don't ask for them, so
That's true.
a lot of people don't get them in.
It would be neat.
Yeah.
Control the intensity through a Pi using PWM. Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard to use. I haven't tried it on the Pi, but I've done it with Arduino and it was super easy. And if you want to get extra fancy, you can get addressable LEDs to change the color or do little sequences and different funky things. Yes. Much fancier than my flat board with holes in it.
Yes. Nice Ecotech controller.
Yep.
Board.
Mm.
And we'll shove an Ecotech logo up here
Nice.
as well. Might center on this. Yeah.
That's gonna look pretty sweet.
Yeah, especially with the Ecotech pumps. So now the only issue I see.
My deck's actually not far off from all Ecotech. I got two MP40s, Vectra, got the lights.
Yeah, Ecotech makes nice things.
Did you? And I've realized, like, in the past, like, with all the tanks and lights, you know, eventually, you know, I'll buy cheaper stuff, and I eventually upgrade to, like, the fancier stuff in the end. But
yeah.
But then once you have it, I mean, it lasts. It just works.
Yeah.
That's hassle.
Most of the nicer things in the hobby are very expensive, but they do last.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least most of them do.
Yeah.
I'll paint that edge white, make sure it's nice. Oh, that thing's cool.
No, it looks pretty sweet.
Especially with the Ecotech logo and all the things, and that gives you enough room for wires. We can go up into this thing now. Move it all around.
It's gonna be pretty sexy.
Yeah, it should be when all said and done. Hopefully.
Yep.
That's since I'm designing it. And building it too, so.
Yep. So you're asking if you should run your skimmer 24/7. I do. In one of my nanos in the past, it was a bit louder, so I only ran at night when I was sleeping. So some people run it part-time. It also depends on how wet or dry of a skim you do. I tend to do a very dry skim, so I just leave it going 24/7. Some people do a wet skim. It might take out a lot more stuff. But I also use mine to suck in outside air and a couple things on the tank, so it keeps my pH nice and high. What's going on, Exclusive Reef? Welcome. So that'd be kind of a clear panel, so you can hide stuff up there, then downlight it a bit.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's just so thick that you can jam like the EB832 up there, the EB8 and stuff like that.
Yep.
Then either they'll be clear, or we'll probably end up doing them red and insetting them, and then we'll put the LEDs somewhere else. We'll just inset them like a little bit just to give it I don't get lost inside the skimmer ball. Yeah, and then we can inset them a bit, and then we can carry on this red.
Nice.
And the ReefDudes will light up.
Okay, that'd be cool.
It'll be clear acrylic with like a translucent film or vinyl on the face. And it'll be pushed through, so it will be probably stick out like a 1/4 inch from the PVC.
That'll look cool.
Yeah. So, and I want to inset that too.
So the question is, do I make it red to match the Sump design, or do I make it the blue and grayish color that the current one is? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to you. I mean, we can do it all red, and then we can change the colors once it's all like set up. Your true logo, though, I mean,
I don't think it really matters, but yeah.
No, I mean, it can be done.
Yep.
I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I like the blue and the gray.
Yeah, Tina, I like doing a super dry skim. It takes ages for your cup to fill up, and then you're really pulling out the really nasty stuff, and you're not really worrying about it sucking out too much water. Show quality stand in the making.
And then we need a gray. Yeah, the only thing I do find SketchUp kind of a pain without the Pro is just the logoing and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like an Ecotech logo, if I wanted to put that in SketchUp and it's not in the library, then it's gonna take me, half an hour just to do that, which is a pain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Where with the Pro version, if you have an AI version of the logo, you can just import it, which really helps.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's still kind of messed up. Like, you got to clean it up, but it's usable to the point where you don't have to spend half an hour redrawing a logo.
Yeah.
Especially since a lot of these logos are hard actually to get, like vectorized, unless you.
I have all my stuff vectorized.
Yeah,
you're safe.
Unless you like work for Ecotech or work for Apex. It's not like oh, here's our logo.
I could probably bribe you. Well, you probably already have them, but
yeah, I have them all.
I was gonna say I can probably bribe them for a vector if I needed.
Yeah. That doesn't look too bad. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah. I know, I was torn. I'm like, do I do actual colors or do I make it match the rest of the colors?
Oh, that's cool. And then we'll calm down the we'll do this like we'll just calm down the redness on the tank a bit.
But it's like if the plumbing's red and white, all those little red accents kind of tie it all together too, which is nice. Like the skimmer's red and white. Yeah, skimmer wise, I like to run mine 24/7 and just skim dry. That's my personal strategy.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, you're right. Wet skimming can remove salt. If it's too wet, I mean, it can over time mess with your salinity.
Yeah, okay. That's cool.
the Pro version, I can import AI, is it? Okay.
Yeah, you can do either AI to DXF and import DXF,
Mm-hmm.
or you can do a lot of other things as well, but you can actually bring it in properly instead of it just being a JPEG.
Nice.
Because a lot of people use like JPEGs and use them as like skins on this, but then that's no good for me because I need measurements and stuff like that to actually cut the stuff and make it.
Exactly. I get you on that from the 3D printing side of it.
Yeah. All right, so let's actually work on this up now.
Okay.
All right, so you're good there, and then Pro Clear. Okay.
In the comments, this thing is beautiful. I told you, Kyle is amazing work.
With all the detail goes in, which I don't 3D model, I just make. What I usually do, to be honest with you, is that I 3D model about, I don't know, 70% of what I actually make.
Yeah.
And then after that, I get it all cut, and then after I just like free build it from there.
Yeah, just get the basics then.
Yeah, because you know, if I sat here and 3D modeled everything I do, I'd literally be sitting here, even with me moving or 3D modeling as quickly as I can, I'd be sitting here for 3 days 3D modeling stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. As quick as you are, it still definitely takes time.
Oh yeah, it always takes time, especially if you want it done properly.
Yeah.
You need a stop on that, so that's fine. Do you know what height your water level is supposed to be for that skimmer?
8 or 9 inches ish. I'll quickly Google it, but somewhere around there. It says ideal water level 6 to 12 inches. So pretty big range. I think mine's somewhere in the 9-ish range, roughly. Suitable for SPS stocked 150 to 300 gallons. Yeah, it's completely overkill for my tank right now, but see, planning for the future.
Yeah, why not?
Exactly. Buy it once and you got it for life.
Yep. Yeah, acrylic will last forever.
Yeah, good point on that one, Dave, in the comments. You're just saying if the dosing lines are close to linear probe, you ideally want all your probes before where you dose. Just so it doesn't mess with it. The salinity probe, if you're talking about the Neptune one, that one's a little on the flaky side. I always find it never is 100%, or it kind of jumps around a bit. It's very susceptible to interference on that one. So I use it more as just like a reference guide than actual pay attention what the values are.
Yeah, I found the same thing with using the salinity probe. The old ones seem to be better, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's literally I turned off all the alarms for that one because it jumps around too much on me, but more just for like a trend line than anything. Thanks, Nick. What crappy equipment. It's all good stuff. I don't think he's a fan of the filter roller. I think he'll be good though. Never used one, but it seems like a much better option than socks or a lot of the other stuff. And it keeps things looking pristine. Keep those fish floating in the air.
Yeah, anything's better than filter socks.
Yes. I debated trying a tank without any, but I don't know. I think it's get a lot messier in there though. What's going on, Murphy? Nick, you know it's good stuff. How's the phytopod grow going? So far so good. I'm still letting it kind of season itself up. It is still a little light than I'd want. I might just add a bit more Fido to darken it up first, but I'm kind of waiting until it's nice and dark before I start adding the tank water to it and seeing how long that lasts. So just Kyle, I started a bit of an experiment where I'm trying to see if I can culture pods and Fido in the same container, but feed it with tank water.
Oh yeah?
I'm kind of curious to see if it will crash it or if it will kind of keep it going over time.
Huh?
I have a slight suspicion I might need to add a UV sterilizer or something to pre-sterilize the water going into it, because Fido is generally a little pickier and likes to be sterile.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I think so far so good. So I'm just curious to let it run for a while and see how long it goes until it crashes, and if need be, I'll try the sterilizer next. But little experiments.
Makes the hobby fun.
It does. That's the one interesting thing about all the YouTube videos is I tend to experiment like crazy much more than I normally would. But it's fun. I like the projects. See, I have heard of people culturing it using old tank water before, so I think there is some hope to this plan. But even if it does need a sterilizer, you could use a pretty cheap one, because, I mean, if you use an aqualift or a dosing pump or something, it's a very slow... The water will move through so slow that even like a cheap little $20 sterilizer should be able to do the job, because that's so much contact time. So is that last one adjustable baffle? Is that like the secondary thing?
Yeah, just in case you switch skimmers. It's better than trying to put in a what you want to call it, a stand or something.
Yeah. I
mean, you never know, right?
Yeah, good call.
I'll do nice screws down it or something. I don't. To be honest with you, I don't know just yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Getting there. We're getting something done.
Yep.
I don't know what, but we're getting something done.
It's looking cool.
Something's happening.
Yep. What do you do to get the little tape measure lines to stay there? I've done it before, but
I'm putting in, like, when I'm selecting an edge, I'm putting in a measurement of how far away that axis is and just pushing enter and it stays.
Okay, it just stays there for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
I took CAD, so my background is in AutoCAD, and just how I'm drawing this is how I was taught to do.
I did
AutoCAD.
Yeah.
First.
I did it many years ago in high school. It's been a while.
That's where most people learned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did architectural engineering and then just general. It's annoying because my original plan in life was to go to school for engineering, but that changed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it gave you a good basis for all this stuff.
Yeah. Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Oh, it's still pretty cool though. Nice.
We'll do like a nice white sump.
Oh, look good. Give that nice clean look.
Yeah. I don't know who the first person was, maybe a Royal exclusive, to do the windows and whatnot, but it's nice. Because the old dream boxes used to just be a big panel that was all data, but I think what they found was running GFO and stuff like that, you'd get in between, because they actually don't glue their baffles in, they're just pressure fit.
Oh really?
Yeah, well, the old dream boxes or so, so water used to get in between them. So after running a dream box for 2 years, they don't look so dreamy anymore.
Yeah, they lose their appeal after a while.
Yeah, well, they just get dirty quickly, and they get dirty in spots you can't clean. So that's then they started doing the window design.
Yep,
and it's just way better.
Nice.
And then everybody decided to copy them.
Yep.
It's like I'm doing right there. That's cool.
Nice.
I
Nope.
think they were one of the first to do it, and
Mm.
they construct their sumps though not from acrylic, right?
Mm.
They use actual flat PVC.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
and they weld it as well,
Hmm.
right? So Vertex does the same thing. So Royal Exclusive and Vertex, I think they're a long story there, but Royal Exclusive and Vertex, they actually use flat PVC sheets
Mm-hmm.
without any air introduced to
Yeah.
it. So you have products called like Cincher and stuff like that, which is PVC with air
Mm-hmm.
in it, so it's air bubbles, and then you have solid PVC, which is pretty much a flat PVC pipe
Yeah.
that can be welded chemically, just like acrylic,
Yep.
and it can be welded with an actual like hot air gun.
Oh, that's all
Right?
you do to weld it?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously a skill involved to welding it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't just pick up one and be like, hey, look, I'm making one.
Yeah.
But it's not that difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, with all their baffling, they all data it. It's a very expensive way of doing it, and that's why they cost so much.
Yep.
But all their baffles are actually where they used to be just pressure fit, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
how well they're made. But the flat PVC is more expensive in some cases than acrylic.
Huh. Crazy. Now,
Yes,
is
that
there
makes
much of a difference in like strength or any of that stuff with the flat PVC versus acrylic, or is it just different
yeah, the
material?
flat PVC would probably be stronger.
Yeah.
PSI wise, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a huge difference? No, there probably isn't.
Yeah. Okay. I've only ever used glass, so I use acrylic just for building weird little things, but
Yeah, acrylic's okay. I mean, I've known to work with a lot of acrylic, but actually, I don't like acrylic that much.
you don't like it?
It's well, it's a harder material to work with, and it's very unforgiving.
Yeah.
If you ever try to like glue acrylic, like DIY type of thing,
Yeah.
I mean, you end up getting bubbles and all this stuff, and all this setup and stuff. Where other products like the PVC and stuff
Mm-hmm.
are, I guess, like easier to work with, especially if you're DIYing.
Mm-hmm.
The sheets are more expensive. It's harder to cut though, so it's like a catch-22, I guess.
Bit of a trade-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done like the methylene chloride is providing you have super nice cuts. Otherwise, the not so pretty stuff, just like the Weld-On 16 or whatever it is.
Yeah. It works though.
Yep.
I think Weld-On 16 is rated for like 1600 psi,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even think we come close to that. Not in the
Oh yeah.
most people in the reefing world.
Yeah, nothing we do at least.
Yeah.
Also, acrylic cylinders ain't cheap. This is true, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they're very expensive. Is it just because they have to extrude them and it's more of a harder
What
process?
matters? You have extruded and cast, right?
Mhm.
So extruded acrylic cylinders aren't that expensive, but they have lines in them. It's not clear. You can see the extruding lines in them.
Gotcha.
So most of aquarium suppliers or users don't even touch it because it is quite ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Cast stuff is very expensive. All acrylic right now is very expensive. Acrylic like a year ago went up like 30%.
Really, eh?
Yep. Overall increase, at least in Canada it did. In the United States, I'm pretty sure it did too.
Mm-hmm.
Acrylic prices are insane.
How come?
There was a shortage. Supposedly, what I heard is that there was a shortage of the resin that's used to create the acrylic. Past that, I have no clue. But there was almost a 30% jump in acrylic-related products. So you'll be paying 30% more for that acrylic sump you want.
That's no fun, but good to know.
The industry, though, also is filled with most like sump builders and stuff are building out of either the garage. I think there's nothing wrong with it, but they're either building out of the garage or using whatever. So, I mean, it does affect some people and doesn't affect others.
Yeah.
I remember doing the sumps for the store, and some guy promised them that they were using cast, opaque white acrylic.
Yep.
And my company orders in 500 sheets a month or something like that. I forget. So I called my suppliers and we're like, okay, I need this. They're like, well, there's none in all of Canada. I said, oh, okay. There's none. And the job required like, 5 or 6 sheets. No one's going to stock that. I mean, it's just ridiculous, especially one guy. So they were using extruded, which is never a great thing. I mean, you can, but it's never that great.
Mm-hmm.
Extruded is actually weaker than cast.
Huh. Yeah, I was wondering what the, like, I know physically the difference, but which one? So extruded is harder.
Extruded is brittle and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't hold glue as well over time. You can
Yeah.
glue extruded, and then 4 years later there'll actually be bubbles forming in the seam.
Ah.
PSI wise and cracking wise and stuff like that, it is actually quite a lot weaker. You want domestic cast, so that means it's made in either Mexico, United States, or Canada.
Okay.
Most likely Mexico.
Yeah.
Is what you really should be using for tanks and what they
Mm-hmm.
call pressure vessels.
So
Can you build one out of extruded? Absolutely. Is
Yeah.
it going to blow out? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you.
So I've heard, just on a random side note, like for doing like shade reactors, I've heard some people say they've had them crack on them from having the heat and the light. So that's probably because they're using like the cheaper extruded stuff for that reactor versus.
Well, no, I mean what people are doing, especially with the DIY Shadow reactors, is they're jamming like 120 volt or main voltage LEDs right onto acrylic and then running cold water through it, or what it's considered cold because the LEDs are getting to 130 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna crack any acrylic most likely.
Because like I've had mine going every day for like months, not an issue. But I've heard of some people saying they have issues with it. So
What matters what LEDs you get, right?
yeah, I figured it was something to do with like the type of acrylic that was used in it. But I
No, most likely it's the LEDs and how hot the LEDs get, right?
Okay. Yep.
Because to be honest with you, as long as you're not making a 12-foot tall extruded cylinder tank, you should be good.
Yeah.
I mean, a 6 inch, a 12-inch reactor, if 1/8 inch wall acrylic, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
And again, with our PVC piping and all that stuff, people go nuts with like all these processes. I mean, the PSI where reefers are shoving through them is almost nothing compared to what the pipes are worth or rated for. I mean, people aren't all Bill Wan who have 20,000 gallon tanks, right?
Yep. No, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff, like even like drain pipes, have next to no pressure because it just kind of falls through it. With your return pump, I mean, unless there's any restriction, I mean, it's pretty open.
Yeah.
Yeah, 220 psi for PVC water pipes, which is tons of pressure.
Yeah, I don't think we get anywhere near that.
Our return pumps do not have that much pressure.
No.
Pretty snazzy.
Yeah, just thinking. I'm getting there. Sump's nice and simple, but I like simple sumps. We'll make it more fancy in a sec.
The only one other piece of equipment I don't know that's in here or not was if I do that algae turf scrubber.
Yeah, how is that like a hang on the back one, like a hog or whatever it's called, or is it like a?
It'd sit inside. The one was on a pole. I thought I had them. Maybe I didn't. I did the model after that. Maybe. Had a rough mock-up of it. And okay, yeah, it's in my other model. Apparently, you don't have that one. I don't think. wonder if I can add this extension warehouse. That's how this works. So just for fun, see if this works. Again, I'll probably should have to double check the sizes, but I think I made it relatively close to what it was. I just uploaded it to the model 3D warehouse. It says it'd be a minute till it does it. Search for ATS and see if it shows up. Santa Monica ATS was the name of it.
No, not yet. Might take a while.
Okay. K-Town Reefer just got home from work. What I miss? You missed a whole lot of designing something cool.
A whole lot of drawing boxes so far.
Yeah, you missed some pretty fancy boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is version 2. Version 2 of the tank. It's a Sketchup? Yes, it is. So this is Devin's miniature upgrade, which is turning into, he needs a much fancier stand and sump to make the tank extra cool.
Yes.
And right now you're watching Kyle from Adaptive Reef, and he's the master of making awesome reef tank acrylic stuff. So he's playing with my design and see what kind of cool stuff I can come up with. If you do want to check him out, adaptivereef.com. You can just look at the first picture. It's his tank. It looks amazing. Just got here. What is your plan? My plan is ever changing and in the works, so I'm still figuring that out, to be honest. We are figuring out the plan as we go. Yeah, the only real game plan is make something that looks awesome.
Yeah, there's no real thing. Never is.
Yep.
9-inch.
It is fun to watch, though.
Hopefully it's at least sort of interesting.
Yep. Tank dimensions, it is, so the stand overall, it's either 6'1", 6'2", somewhere in there. The tank width is 25 inches, tank height is 22 inches. So basically what I have now, 1.5 inches longer, 5 inches wider, and 4 inches taller. Which works out to about 60 gallons more.
5 inches wider is very important.
Yeah.
In my mind, at least.
Yeah. And that's a big one, because I even like what I have now. Like I love the scape, I love everything, but having more sand bed and space for the corals to grow around it.
Yeah.
That extra 5 inches adds up. It doesn't sound like it a lot, but it actually is. And basically how this whole thing started is one of the panels of my glass had a bit of like a hazy line through it. So I asked the tank builder, and he basically said it's easier to build a new tank than it is to try and buff it out. So they're going to warranty my tank. And I was like, well, if I'm going through all this effort, I might as well sneak in a little bit of a mini upgrade. So that's kind of what led me down this path of revision 2 of my tank. So it's kind of like a tank do-over in a way, to change and tweak it and all the little things. So an unplanned upgrade. Yeah, so it should be pretty fun. I honestly love the building part and the designing part, and actually putting together is a lot of fun. The physical part of trying to put the tank in the same spot is going to be a huge pain, unless I can sneak it up to its final home in the meantime, but either way it's going to look pretty good. New tank hype, yes it is. Everybody loves to build. So it's getting closer. It's interesting to see just how you design some of the parts.
Yeah, well,
I understand why you're doing it that way, because like you're considering how it would be CNC'd and cut out and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier for a lot of designers because they don't have to actually make half of the stuff they design.
Yeah.
Actually, most designers never make what they design. In the industries that I've done, because
here's a concept and that's it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's up to either the contractors to figure out what exactly is going on and how to make it, or by the time everything's said and done, their design is out the window and it's completely changed, which is usually actually what happens.
Mm-hmm. Okay, see you later, Sandy. Have a good night. Well, yes, if you don't actually, if you're designing, you don't actually build it, then you never know what you're going to end up with.
Yeah. We're getting there, though.
Yep.
Again, I've never done this live, so I don't know.
That's fun.
So, really, this needs to drop a bit.
Yeah, what's your question there, Tina? Might be able to help you. Let me know.
Okay.
Yeah.
More fancy boxes.
Yeah, the nice thing in 3D is you can actually see exactly what it's going to look like. You know, you get a really good feel for it and how it's all going to fit together. And it's a really good planning tool.
Yep.
Like even like my revision 1, just figuring out how you're going to space stuff. You know, okay, I got to put this in there. It's this big. Where's it going to fit? All that type of stuff makes a big difference.
A lot of companies, at least outside of the saltwater world, they actually upload the whole product line to SketchUp.
It's smart in a way, because if you plan it as an easy model, I mean, there's probably a higher probability you're actually going to use it and go with it.
Yep. For HVAC stuff and all that stuff,
Yep.
they usually have it, and especially a lot of furniture places too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a smart move for a lot of companies to do that. .3D modeling saves you a lot of money. This is true. I would agree. even like the stuff I've built, when I go into there and like go get a chunk of acrylic or something that I want to add a baffle or whatever, I'm like, yep, exactly this size, blah blah blah. He's like, a lot of people have issues. He's like, your stuff always just works. I'm like, yeah, because I mock it up first. It goes a long way. Don't forget to leave room for the trident. Yeah, I'm still debating what I'm gonna do there.
You're gonna need a lot of room for that thing.
Is it pretty? Yeah, it's a good size. I guess that's the only one part about making it super fancy is trying to like make a spot for everything.
Yeah, and then this always with upgrading, right?
Yeah.
Because no matter what you do, even if you choose everything you're gonna use, you're gonna change out something.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be room for things to expand or change with ease.
Yeah, this is true.
With my system, it looks like it's finished, but the whole left side of it, where I have like a computer built into it, it can be just ripped out and taken out and rebuilt, which I'm going to do when my cage director comes.
Nice.
Yeah, I knew that no matter what, I was gonna change up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like this.
Yeah, well, I was debating either the trident or the electronic, one of the two.
Yeah.
I don't know where it fitted though, but. It's always the tricky part. Looks pretty neat though.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's again figuring out where all the wires and the plumbing's gonna go. Because you have to have return plumbing, but the plumbing will add to it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the open space above it, there'll be plumbing.
Yep. Yeah, so there'll be 3 drain lines coming in and 2 return lines going out.
Yeah. So the drain lines are nice and easy.
Yep.
And then the return line, they can go on the left and right hand side, so that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Even out in the open isn't bad.
Yeah.
And your skimmer can go dead center, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when you put it at the peninsula, it doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
And then your pumps will be fine. And it gives you a nice big return chamber too, so your ATO won't be flipping on all the time.
Mm-hmm. Then I have so I'm doing the 2 vectors for the return.
Yeah. It'll fit, no problem.
Perfect. It's gonna be overkill, but it'll be nice to have it like super redundant.
Yeah. It'll look nice, and the vector pumps will be right by where the mount is just your MP40s, but they should be fine. They should be able to run in there.
I might have to paint the colors red now.
You can take apart the MP40s and just have the connector come out.
Yeah, that's actually what I did now. I had a tiny little hole, so it just poked through.
Yeah.
Mm.
I wish they actually made that a better system, to be 100% honest with you.
Like a plug, I think easier plug.
Yeah, I wish it was like remote or something. For the
Yeah.
amount of time that people run Ecotech stuff, you think they would make it like easier.
Yeah, I guess it's not too bad to pop out the 3 screws and do it, but yeah, no, I agree. If you've never done it before,
pump,
yeah,
I want, I just want some easy, quick connects or something.
Yeah, true.
So we'll get rid of that extra seam for no reason.
Nice. All the little details.
Yeah, just seeing how it looks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. They'll have LEDs in it. They'll have the Ecotech logo. And then you know what? To be honest with you, we'll do your full logo, like with the ReefDudes. And do you have an actual like logo, or is it just the ReefDudes?
I don't really have an actual logo. It's more just the text, and like the one I've been using lately has a little outline play button.
Okay.
Like I don't know if you can see the YouTube one right now, but I'm starting to use that on some stuff. Okay.
Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, so
it's kind of overlaid a bit, so it might not show up the white background. But
perfect. What we'll do is Ecotech will like it as well. So we'll do an Ecotech logo on top. And then we'll do, and remember these all light up.
Yeah.
So this is all LED, on and off LEDs or however you want to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Rotate this.
Are the white parts of the panels going to be acrylic? Yeah, pretty much the stand itself will be steel, and most of the other stuff will probably be acrylic.
Yeah, it'll be a mix between acrylic and flat white PVC.
All right, there we go. Perfect.
So it'll be a mix of the two. Flat PVC that we use or that I use and that you can get is fire rated. So you can
nice.
jam all the electronics you want in it, and it can still be up in Canada where we are. Is it can be CSA'd or UL'd and stuff like that.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Nice.
We just did Ripley's aquarium, the jellyfish habitat. We just relit it with all Orfix, but we have different electronic codes, especially for large aquariums. So we rehoused the Orphic ballast and did a bunch of stuff, and then we're able to CSA right out of my shop or
nice.
ESA and all that stuff. So we're able to do that. Yeah, that's gonna look cool. So we'll do that, and we'll do an Ecotech logo on top, and then the Ecotech stuff will be right there. I think. Yeah. Do you have a one link or what is it called? An Ecotech home or?
I do, but it's not in there. It's like in my closet by the router.
Oh, okay. What is that? What is it called? A Reef Link, yeah.
So it's hidden. Yeah. Another room.
So we'll do that. That'll be cool. And I think these panels we'll do they won't be clear. They'll be frosted.
Okay.
So you won't be able to see through them because this goes into like a living room.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be right by the dining room and stuff. So
yeah,
that'd be cool.
So yeah, so you won't be able to see through them. They'll be like a nice, frosty, and then probably 1/2-inch PVC with 1/8 inch acrylic in them, frosted. They're magnetic most likely.
Yep.
That's easy enough way to do it. So you'll be able to take those off. Same as the other side as well. Just keep it all nice and simple.
Yep.
I mean, for now it's going against the wall anyways.
Yeah, but when I move it upstairs, then you'll really see it all around.
And then, I'll be able to do some custom dosing containers because why not? There'll be dosing lines and all this other stuff. I'm not gonna bother. This we'll do a 3D play button that lights up nicely. Obviously I'll build you a sump. There'll be more in the sump. We'll do like proper dosing lines and probe holders and all that stuff. I'll even route out a spot so your ATK will fit, but it will fit like solidly instead of it'll actually like sink into the side of the sump a bit.
Nice. That'll look wicked.
And then all up here, this is all just going to be PVC.
We'll be able to hide power bricks and electronics and the random bits up there.
And you'll be able to drill it.
Okay.
Sand it and do all that without any issue because it will be white all the way through, and it doesn't chip. It doesn't do anything.
Awesome.
It takes screw. You can screw into it. You can do whatever you want.
That's handy.
To it, no problem. And then again, these will probably light up as well. And we'll just do nice little accent ones. So when the stand's off, if you have, like if you're taking video of your left side of your front, your logo's always in.
I like how you think.
Well, you might as well, right?
Exactly.
And I don't know. Maybe I don't know. The thing is you can get overzealous. A lot of people ask me like my tank. If you look at it, I obviously have a theme. It's like Vertex and GHL. So my tank, it's sponsored. So I'm here to push like brands.
Yeah.
It's your brand that you want to push with other people's brands as well. But you obviously don't want to overdo it. You don't want a race car as a tank.
Exactly.
Right. There's a fine line of having something nice and subtle to having, sponsor emblems everywhere or, company emblems everywhere. So I try to keep it with
just
a few companies.
Just subtle.
Yeah. And with a handful of companies, right? Usually with tanks, sponsor builds and stuff like that, you end up getting like 50 companies on board and they all send you like, one clip or something. You're like, oh, that's awesome. Oh God, where am I going to put your name? My tank looks like a great jumpsuit. I
have no official sponsors. But I probably have more Ecotech than anything else in my tank.
Yeah. Well, with a lot of the brands too, like the products are nice, right? So a lot of people don't mind.
Oh yeah, I talk up their stuff all the time. I love their products.
Plus, the logos look nice. Most of the logos look nice. I do a lot of Apex theme stuff, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But Yeah, like, you know, full Apex theme, whatever. I just finished a Reefer 450 that was all Apex
Oh,
themed
nice.
out. The guy picked it up today, so that was fun.
Nice. If my pH is 8.2 in the Red Sea max now, do you think Kelquas will raise the pH too much because the pH on a log cell? Depends how much you mix in your ATO and how much your evaporation is or how you're dosing it, but it might. I mean, you could go like 8.3, 8.4. I probably wouldn't want to go much higher than that though. Honestly, you could just try it and just keep an eye on it and see how high it goes, but Dev, you need to use blue plumbing. Yeah, it's either blue or red.
It can all be switched to blue quite easily.
Yeah.
Because all that is now actually seamed red is this bottom plate.
Mm. Yeah, no, I could definitely go either way on that one. Either would look good. Right now, my theme is red and white. The only thing leaning towards blue is technically the Reef and the ReefDudes is blue. But honestly, either one would look awesome. Either would look killer.
I don't mind blue.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need that piece. We don't need that big.
Even on my logo, I mean, I technically, even like the YouTube play button on that one, I just did it in white and had like a halo kind of glow with it. But I don't know. To be determined. What do you think would look better, red or blue?
Well, if this is red, yeah, this now, what we could do with this is something interesting. We could do, take this, and we'll space it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Take this, and we'll go with a
white and red maple leaf. I'm Canadian, but not that Canadian.
So what we can do, instead of having the red play button, we'll go with a white play with, and then the actual button, the play button, would be probably not centered. Give me a break. A nice gray.
Now, actually, one of my random logos, I did a shirt where I had a bit of a grungy looking play button. I had the ReefDudes making reefing easy, kind of angled through it.
Yeah.
I'll show you that one later, but that might look cool in there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this can be anything. Either I can do like a push through, so like this acrylic pushes through just like this logo, or we can just leave that and make that 3D and have it halo light around, right? So it can go all around. It doesn't matter whichever one. It's all the same to do.
Okay. I got an idea if I can find it. Where is it? Desktop. Can you see the YouTube right now or just the?
Yeah,
okay.
I can.
Okay, so on the screen, like I made this as a shirt that I wore to Reefapalooza. Where I had the play button and words over top of it. It might take about 30 seconds till it shows up with a delay.
Yeah.
But I don't know, could do something cool like that too. Be proud.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll play with it. But yeah, no, I'm liking it. It's looking cool.
Yeah, I could do that. That's no problem. If you send me that logo, you have that vectorized?
Yep.
Alright, so that logo can go right on this play button. We'll just halo light it. And then you can keep your brand at least seeing the same. Right?
Yep, exactly. Then one thing that could be cool, if we do halo light it, could almost do it out of like a frosted or something and just let it glow from behind it.
Yeah. Yes. What the heck? So what did you want frosted exactly?
Oh, I was gonna say instead of the YouTube logo, if it was frosted, but then have like the ReefDudes making reefing easy kind of on top of it, and then kind of glow through it. Possible idea.
Yeah, that would actually work. That'd be kind of cool. It'd still have to be a background box. that leaves it now. Oh, nice.
Yeah, if there's any vector stuff too, I can do that. And my wife's like a hardcore Illustrator vector.
Yeah, as long as I have vector art, I can CNC it, right?
Yeah.
That's the biggest.
I'll have to redo
So most people.
the one play part because the one on the shirt's grungy, but I think I do have a crisper version of it as well. Just gotta find it.
Oh, with that, I can probably just digitally print it, to be honest with you, to get it.
Hmm.
What you need. I have digital printers, right? So I could digitally print it and then
You got all the fun toys.
light that. Yeah, you might as well. Yeah, there's not many production things I don't have.
No kidding. That is awesome. That'd be like a kind of candy store in your workshop.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. So much potential to build stuff.
Yeah. Well, so what I do all day long is just build stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's for the saltwater world or for the... My background is signage, right?
Yeah.
And design, obviously. Although some people hate my designs, but I like them.
I do some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
There's one of them. Nice. I lost half the play button in that logo for some reason.
When I was designing my system, I do the same exact thing that I'm doing here, but I had probably 15 of like a stand and a tank with all different designs underneath. It's crazy how much, yeah, and now it's pretty much completely different than what I wanted anyway.
It's crazy how it can change over time, eh?
Yeah. Alright, that's pretty cool.
That looks neat.
Yeah. And then we'll do a permanent block here so you don't see this.
Perfect.
I might have to make a stand though.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Fair enough.
Like the steel part.
Well, I know, yeah, that was one little bit of a worry because if it's, you know, you get one company, like one guy to do it and you do the other stuff, then how do you know it all fits perfectly?
Yeah, and plus I'll be attaching some of this stuff on my EMI as well. So most likely I'll be doing your thing, and then I can just create it and ship it.
Okay, sweet.
It won't be that bad. It'll just take a while to get to you.
I'm in no rush.
Yeah.
I foresee them taking a while to build the tank anyways, so.
Yeah.
And I already have one, so it's just kind of like a future home for it. Yeah, Method, the Adaptive Reef site, he has some awesome stuff on there. If anyone's curious, I do have a link to it in the description, so if you want to check out some eye candy. I spent many hours going through these photos.
Yeah, I have build threads too on
Reef to Reef, yeah.
Reef to Reef, yeah. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff. I'm actually building, I'm going to Reefapalooza, New York.
Nice.
So I'm building a bunch of stuff for a bunch of vendors there, and also David from Reef to Reef. He's the owner of Reef to Reef.
Yep.
I'll be making some things for his booth as a surprise.
Oh, nice.
Also, yeah, I also donated. Now there's when you win Reef of the Tank of the Month on Reef to Reef, you actually get a physical award now.
Oh, that's cool.
So I've donated 30 something of them. So
is that little like 3D stand one that you had to
yeah,
that's
yeah.
Cool.
So if you actually win Reef of the Month on there, you actually physically get an award. So you can like show people like, hey, look, I actually won. Because Reef of the Month is awesome to win, but then after that month, you're like, yeah, I won it like 2 years ago, but now you actually have like something to display.
Well, I'll have to enter once I have my super snazzy all around tank.
Yeah.
Get a nice matching reward to go with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool though.
Send you like a bootleg one.
Yeah.
Sample only on the back.
Nice. Not an actual award, damn
it. Yeah. No, Reef to Reef's a great site.
Yeah, oh, they're good. I met him at Reefapalooza in Orlando, so I was talking about some potential working with some stuff in the future. But yeah, super nice guy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Reefer Madness. Much appreciated. It's a great stream. All kinds of beautiful things are being created.
trying to make them.
Yep.
It's funny. I'm gonna have to watch the video again. I haven't even looked at the comments once. Looking at this so much.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll be nice.
They're talking about your tank. He says the system on the homepage is dreamy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we'll underlight this as well and stuff like that. Underlight the so you can see nicely in it.
Yep.
I'll check too the height between the skimmer and the roof part of this.
Okay.
I might end up losing that, just so you don't run
off.
into any issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe we'll bring this way up here, like halfway or something. It's just there to hide wires.
I can kind of measure it too and see how much space I got to work with.
Yeah, we'll just make it nice and open so you have no issue. And again, I'll dull out everything so you're not gonna be like cutting your hands on it.
Okay.
Anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, no, Kyle's going to be designing / fabricating. He's the master builder here. See, you know on the homepage how you're just saying he had a dreamy tank? I don't mind to be dreamy just like that.
Yeah, that should look pretty sweet. And then we'll have to finish the end of this system somehow. So really what we could do.
So with the side, would it be 3 different panels that just butt up together?
Yeah, because one panel first would be a nightmare to ship.
Yep.
Second off, it would just be a nightmare to move around your house.
Fair enough. That's what I have now is one big board. So
yeah,
I was curious.
You get, I mean, you don't get the seams, but then functionality-wise, it's no thank you.
Yeah.
And then if you need to like get to your skimmer, you can just take off the center one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Instead of removing everything to, look at your skimmer cup or, you know.
No, that's fair.
Change one thing, right?
Yeah. I have my big 3x6 panel. I'm like, walk down the hallway, put it to the side. Put it
exactly.
back to the tank.
Yeah. That's why I like keeping my tanks completely open.
Yeah.
You can.
I considered it, but then at the same time, like, if it's in the living room, the dining room and stuff, and I'm like, maybe I'll put sides on it. But when you open it up, it'll look amazing.
Yeah, so we'll finish that off. It's an end panel. You don't have a ReefDudes in your living room?
No, I'll probably just keep it white and then I can always pop it off when I do videos.
No, that's fine. Yeah, big Ecotech and ReefDudes logo when you're eating family dinner.
Yeah, I got to keep the wife happy too.
Yeah, it's always a consideration.
Yep. Very, very
so, yeah, when you won't like the seams in the sand and stuff, you won't see when I weld up the sand and grind it and stuff. It'll look all smooth.
Awesome. That'll be really cool.
Yeah, you don't see seams in my sand. I'll 45 all the corners too.
Nice.
Stuff like that.
Hardest part will be hiding all the wires.
Yeah, hopefully this like conduit top thing, because this Ecotech thing is like 2 to 3 inches thick.
Mm-hmm.
This will be a thing that pops right out, so you'll be able to take. Remember, there's an Ecotech logo on top. I'm just not drawing it.
Mm-hmm.
So this will pop out by itself. So and there'll be like a big hole up on the top here that matches up with this.
Yep.
And then you can just drag all your wires all the way through this. But yeah, this will be removable completely. It'll just kind of be sitting in there.
Yep.
So you can, this whole thing will like, even my system, it comes apart like all Lego.
Mm-hmm.
So everything can come out. And then like, if you look under here, we'll make sure like these will be magnetic on, but also these underneath panels.
Yep.
Right here, I will magnetically put those on as well.
Okay.
So you'll be able to pop those off. I most likely will keep this open just for functionality wise.
Yep.
And we'll underlight it.
Okay.
So that will first give you the option of lighting underneath it so you can see. But second off, if you ever feel like getting fancy, we can underlight it to the point where you can put the logo inside your tank. So you can put ReefDudes inside your tank, and you could do like a solid acrylic bottom with a knockout. I have this in my tank that I did. So you just put a solid piece of acrylic with a knockout in it.
Yep. And
it lights underneath, so you actually get lit letters inside of a reef tank.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that would be like a future thing, but it opens the possibility for that if needed. Past that, we'll do a nice dosing container system for you.
Sounds good.
We'll figure out the dosing lines and stuff like that, but they'll be all going up and under. And then you have a DOS. You're gonna have 2 DOSes.
Well, that's what I'm debating right now, so I got to figure that out where it would fit.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll probably have to move this.
I just have
forward,
one
move
right
this
now. I was
back.
debating a second, or if I got a different dosing system. I don't know. There's a few little things I got to figure out before we fully go crazy.
Yeah. Everything can be moved though, or shrinked a bit. Like the sump is big for the tank. I mean, actually kind of huge. So the sump can lose length, no problem, without much of any issue at all, because your skimmer chamber is huge. Everything's massive.
Yeah.
I mean, your return pump section's massive too.
Just that one little turf scrubber is the only piece to figure out to fit in there. But aside from that, I think I'm going to try and keep it fairly simple in this one.
Yeah, it's usually best. Yeah, I'll make sure everything fits. I mean, we'll be talking anyways. Or end up doing a final thing later, but yeah.
No, it's gonna look pretty awesome though. I'm excited.
So we can move that back a bit, and then we can mount the either the doses or whatever the heck you get on the back of this thing.
Rogue Aquarium subbed your channel yesterday. I like your content. Thank you very much. Much appreciated there, Rogue.
Yeah, because we can do that. We can also make the dose containers skinnier or something.
Yep.
Or you could get the Aquamax ones.
Yep.
We could use those, and then I can build a system to hold those as well instead of pre-making them. Especially if you're going with the blue, that actually might not be a bad idea. Let me look at the Aquamax.
See what size they are. They are.
They make really nice dosing containers.
They were.
I assume you'd be getting the tall ones, right?
Yeah, the tall ones are a gallonish, so that's probably what I'd go with.
Yeah, so you could get like 3 or 4 of those. And I could CNC like a holder for the bottom and do the same thing with the logo. So maybe we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And plus, then it introduces some rounded shapes too to the design, which it's lacking.
Yeah.
Instead of everything being so square.
Oh, that sounds good.
Sometimes I get square happy. It's just how it happens.
Yeah, footprint 5" by 6" chamber diameter.
Yeah,
4"
so
height 19.
we'll fit like
1/4, 3/4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you fit like 4. So we'll put 4 in the back, I think.
Yep.
And then I'll CNC a mounting plate for the bottom of it, so they don't move and they sit into something. And then the logo for this I can put either above them.
We also, well, we do have it on the sides, and if it isn't set in the bottom, like we do have it in a lot of places. Or you could do one like vertically, like sideways on the edge of the back white chunk of the sump there.
Yeah,
we'll come up with something.
Yeah, we could always do the ReefDudes, that logo you showed me on the side of the sump as well, like right on the window.
And then just
or something along those lines, right?
I could always like do a slight etch of something. I don't know.
Yeah, if I give this on the side of the sump or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good actually. Yeah, you know what? I think you're right.
Then it'd make
all this time drawing a square dosing container. I'm not even building it now. Yeah, no, I think that'll look better, and I'll save you some room. We'll be able to move this back more and center the sump more.
Yep.
Which will be nice, and that opens up this the back of the, I would say, like control panel for either maybe we'll inset the apex on the inside, just flush mount it, so this would get a little bit thicker.
Yep.
And you can mount your dose there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. I think it's
good.
better than just a normal fish tank.
I definitely agree. If you only dose elk, will this have a delirious effect on your other elements? Ideally, you want to be dosing, calcium elk as well, like magnesium too once in a while. But generally, you want to keep it fairly even. Like my tank does consume a little more elk than calcium, but you generally want to keep it fairly even just to keep things in check. Otherwise, it can get out of whack long term if you're only dosing one element.
Yeah, that should look nice.
No, that'll look really cool.
And then there's no crazy we'll have to finalize sizes and stuff like that, but that gives you a rough idea. I think that looks okay. I think
that's looking pretty sweet.
And then with everything all lit up and stuff like that, it should look pretty cool.
Oh, that'll be awesome. I like it. My only small worry is hiding all the power bars and bricks and all that jazz, but aside from
There
that,
should be enough room. It's just
yeah,
it's gonna be time consuming to wire the tank.
it will. That's fine. It's worth it.
Don't forget everything will come apart.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like wires everywhere for a little bit, but then you can run them all.
Yeah, and make it all pretty.
Yeah, I mean, really, when you're talking about it from left to right, from your like overflow over, you're talking about 2 MP40s, and that's about it. They go all the way in dosing lines.
Dosing lines. I do have the gyro up there, but that's not a big deal.
Okay.
I don't have
Okay,
to. The controller could be anywhere. I don't care where that is.
Yeah. But that's one more line from left to right because you're mounted on the back wall.
Yes, just below the overflow.
Yeah. So so you're talking about like 5 or 6 lines coming over. The rest of it will be in this end unit. So I'll probably thicken up this end unit so you can just jam wires in the back. And like the back of it, I'll make so it'll pop out, but also I'll make the whole back removable, like an access panel. And instead of being like 3 inches thick, I'll make it like 4 inches thick or 5 inches thick, and then you can just jam all this stuff in there.
As long as I can hide the power bars and whatever.
Yeah.
Because the power bricks are the biggest pain.
Yeah.
Like five radions on top and stuff, like all those bricks.
Yeah, I'll put like shelves and stuff in there for you, so you can zip tie the power bricks on, and maybe send you like a roll of whatchamacallit, Velcro or something, so you can just Velcro them in. But yeah, they're always a pain. And then past that, all this LED stuff in the tank will require a ballast and a plug as well.
Okay, that's easy enough.
So yeah, you can control that off your Apex or whatever. So because it will be like underlit here, and then the ReefDudes, the Ecotech logo, and then these 2 ReefDudes, and then the Apex in the back that would be sunk in will just be it would just be the Apex status light, so you can get a quick look and see if it's disconnected or something.
No, that'd look good.
Yeah, so that's not bad.
That's looking pretty awesome. Not bad for winging it.
Yeah, not bad for designing. It's simple, but it'll look nice. Don't forget how much stuff you got to add to it though, like all the controllers and there's gonna be plumbing in it. There's gonna be tons of stuff. So and then the nice round Aquamax dosing containers that we should have started off with would be nice hidden in the back here.
Well, even those I could run the dosing lines all up through the channel on the bottom and over the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. This will be. We'll take off the let's take off the tank. We'll take this whole thing and we'll make it smaller like that. So you'll have free, from left to right. Like this panel and this panel will come completely off, and then you'll be able to like reach your hand underneath here and grab no problem. And there'll be 2 inches from your tank, but also another inch. So you got 3 inches of room up here.
Now,
and then here you got like 8 inches.
Do you think I could fit the Apex power bars up there?
Yeah, this side, the left and right side, even though they're angled, they should be able to fit the 832 and the EB8.
Okay.
But I am gonna thicken this up. What I'll do is I'll fix it all. I'll fix all the model, but I'll thicken up this main like control box thing or whatever. It's not letting me select it, whatever. But yeah, I'll thicken it up more because I think right now it's sitting at like 3 inches and it's tapered. So I'll add another like 2 inches, so then you don't even have to worry about it. All that will do is just make these angles a little more intense or a little more extreme. So you're looking at like that instead of what it was, so it won't be bad. And that keeps, with the angled look, it also keeps you open for your skimmer with this hole, with the skimmer and stuff like that. And again, it will be all underlit as well, so you can see.
No, that'd be nice. That'd look awesome.
Yeah, it's actually pretty simple, but it should look really, like, not overpowering. And it has your logos in it. It's the main thing, right?
That's awesome.
And I'll have Ecotech's logo in it, so that'll be cool, too. And then don't forget, too, I'm not going to inset or I'm going to flush mount the Apex for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's just cool.
Yeah, no,
It
that
looks
sounds
really
awesome.
nice. I just did it today, so I enjoyed it. I'll post pictures of it later.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
then the coverage again will just be magnetic. You won't be able to see through them. They'll be fully frosted.
Perfect.
And this end cap will just be magnetic, nice and white to keep it clean.
Awesome. No,
But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's nice and clean and nice.
that'll look awesome.
Yeah. And again, just a very simple sump.
Yep.
I enjoy simple sumps, but there'll be
Mm-hmm.
like probe holders and dosing line holders and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then your returns are what, like 1 inch?
Yeah, I haven't put them in yet, so they can be whatever.
Okay. All right. But you're going into that the clear C thing, the
Yeah.
DV thing.
Yeah, so I think
Okay.
it takes one line in, and then the other one can just be like just a trickle over, and the other overflow, whatever, an extra one. So
Okay.
it'll be the
Yeah.
three returns, or sorry, three drains, then two returns back to the tank.
Okay. So your drains, one goes into the clear C thing.
I don't actually have it yet, but looking online, it looks like that.
Okay, because I'll put bulkheads in the top of
Okay.
the sump so you can like cleanly plumb it.
Yep.
And yeah, that's about it. I mean, there'll be wire holes too, because you got two pumps, so there'll
Yep.
be like a nice wire hook. And I'll probably end up doing a lid for you all the way up
Okay.
to the skimmer section.
Perfect. That'd be awesome.
Nice like flush mounted lid just to help with the evaporation and splashing and stuff like that.
Oh, that would be awesome. That look really good.
But yeah, I think that's about it. I think that looks kind of nice and simple, and it's not like crazy. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's something that you can actually, show.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's
Nice.
awesome.
Ridiculous. And I like the blue, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I like the blue board better than the red board, so I think maybe you'll be switching to the blue pipe.
Yeah. Do you have blue pipe?
Yeah, I can get blue pipe for you.
Perfect.
No problem.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can do all the PVC stuff. That's no issue.
Oh, that's gonna look killer.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. I love it. It's gonna be great.
All right. I'll also send you this file.
Okay.
You can mess with it.
Sounds good. I'll mess with the copy.
Yeah.
Yeah. When can I come see you? Once it's done, it'll probably be a few months before I actually have it, but planning for the future.
Reefapalooza is what, next month?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I'm booked solid until after Reefapalooza.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just a couple other pieces of equipment I got to figure out to finalize, and I think it'll be pretty solid. I got all my core stuff. It's just like the whole dosing thing. Then if I did either the Trident or the Electronic, and then if I do a second Apex dose or a different doser, just figuring that out.
Yeah, once we figure that all out, maybe we can mount all that in the back of this panel and push back the sump a bit more.
Yeah, I was thinking if I do go that route, if we made that panel thicker, you could hide most of the body inside of it and just have like the front bit with the heads poking out or something. Or I don't know.
Yeah, I'll make
cool.
it. I'll probably make it like 6 inches thick, and then that leaves like every option.
Yeah.
Possible. I mean, there's nothing that's that big, anyways.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. It's looking awesome, Kyle.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they said come up with something and didn't just like draw nothing.
Hey, that's pretty stoked. Well, I appreciate you coming on and doing some live modeling stuff. It's really cool to see how your mind works and see the cool ideas that you come up with.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for having me on. That's cool. Yeah, and I'll definitely send you a copy of this, and then yeah, we'll be in touch for sure.
Yeah, much appreciated. Yeah, anyone that's in the chat, if you want to see some amazing work, definitely check out Kyle's site. Is the Frosted Blue panels. Frosted Blue. Blue accents. AdaptiveReef.com. Definitely check it out. It's in the description of this video with a link. But yeah, he does some amazing work. And after seeing his tank, I just was like, my stand is terrible. So it's kind of revamping it all now. So I'm super stoked for it.
Yeah, it should look nice. All right, well, thank you very much for having me on.
Okay, thanks so much. Appreciate you coming on, man.
All right,
Okay,
bye.
talk to you later. Bye. What's going on, guys? So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. It was a bit of a different stream than normal, but yeah, definitely some really awesome stuff. Kyle, I don't know, I was blown away. I literally spent like half my weekend staring at all the stuff he did, so I'm excited to help him make something amazing. He's got like an amazing shop with like CNC machines and paint booths and all kinds of crazy stuff, so I'm hoping to make me a pretty snazzy stand for the Rev 2 of the tank. So that should be great. Rip Van Winkle, what's going on, buddy? I'll drop the Hangout link if anyone wants to join. Now, rumor has it that it works now and I don't have to bit.ly it, so see if that works. And if it doesn't, then we'll bit.ly it. That was awesome. Much appreciated, Imperfect Reefer. Let's check when the girl wife's done. Very cool. Yeah, he has some awesome skills. I mean, I feel like useless in SketchUp after watching like how quick he busts through stuff. Is really cool. GHL shared his photos. Yeah, I think they did it, and I think Orphic or one of the other sites had it on their site too with his tank and his build. What going to be one sexy setup? Yes, yes it is. I'm super stoked. It is yeah, it should be good. I figure this is gonna be my last, not even planned, but my last upgrade for a long time, so gotta make her extra classy. Alright guys, I don't know if that linked worked, but I think I may part pretty quick. I think I gotta pick up the wife in a bit, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, definitely check out Kyle. He's done some amazing stuff, and I'm super stoked to see what the final thing turns into. Doesn't work. Okay, yeah, sorry Tina, I think I might have to run, but next week I'll have more of a social live stream. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys got any other crazy ideas, be sure to fire my way. But yeah, so far I'm liking what came up. All right, guys, much appreciated. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.